Welcome to not a punk with toys. Well, I am, but welcome to Monday Night Toy Ramblings, where you get to hear me ramble on for 3+ hours. Normally, I didn't get a real good nap in because I had to do stuff for my son's graduation, I guess, meetings and different things like that. And if it wasn't for the ex saying, "Hey, are you gonna show up?" I probably would have. Take that back. I would have completely forgotten because thank God she's on that stuff way more than I am. So anyway, thank you guys all for tuning in. I'm going to try and stay awake. Probably be all right. Anyway, hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. Didn't have anything too interesting that happened. I don't think there's too many details. Car is good. So definitely happy about that. Anyway, let's get into some stuff. We're going to talk about some toys. We got a good amount of stuff, and a little bit of Joe news came out today. But anyway, before we get into that, we got a while before we get into that. And we get into the topic about fun and just in general, how toys should be fun. And if you're watching Payne's toy samples, you kind of understand, like, he talks about it on Friday nights, man. There should be fun for us. And I think there's so many people in this community, whether it be YouTubers trying to start drama, whether it be people in the Facebook groups that are trying to rip people off by not sending them product when they buy it and different things like that. So we're going to get into that. I'll let you guys kind of chime in and hear what you guys have to say and what you guys think. But it's actually been a little bit better. Then I guess some drama kind of crept up. I didn't really know about it because, like I said, I was kind of off everything today. But I guess there is a video out there that's riled some people up. I haven't watched it. Don't even know what it is. I just know that there's a lot of talk about it. Anyway, I dropped one video today. One video this weekend. Comparing Super 7 to these little Spin Master figures. And I want to say this, and I know Matthew actually made a comment in the on the video that these little Spin Master figures have no business being as good as they are. This Black Manta, who I am going to arm with some sort of weapon, he's going to lead my eel team, that is for sure. That's going to be attacking the aircraft carrier. I gotta say, this thing is actually really cool. I mean, Aquaman's not even, he's kind of stupid. But they have some nice little articulation to it. They're only like $7, or $3 on clearance. So I picked them up. They're a little comparison. And many of you guys know my thoughts on Super 7 and a lot of the stuff they do. And someone that also pointed out that these are two different types of companies. One's a $1 billion company, one's a $27 million company. But my point was that these are in the toy aisle. They are meant to be toys, and you're selling one for $20 and one is selling for $7. And so you can see the articulation and understand, like, hey, Super 7 is not a small company. And it's just something I feel like I need. I just like to point it out because, again, you're doing a large, a large property, Transformers, G.I. Joe, different things like that. Where I fully understand, and I talk about it in the video, like the punk bands that they're doing, or even the skateboarders, if they gave them a skateboard, but things that you don't know about, I understand why you're going to charge, $20. But some of these, and I think they're learning their lesson, and we're going to see if these O-rings actually work out for them. So anyway, we will definitely find out about that. This Thursday, I'm going to have Largo's Lair on Thursday with a friend. I've talked to Largo a good amount. I've been on his show. Really, really good guy. I've enjoyed the conversations that I've had with him. I feel like he's just this down-to-earth guy when you just sit there and have a one-on-one. But, this guy was I believe he was in the military. Somehow he ended up in Guatemala. I thought it was a joke that he was actually in Guatemala. So I think it's going to be real interesting to hear his his little life story, which is what Thursday with a Friend is supposed to be about. If you haven't chimed in on it, if you haven't tuned in, please do. It's just getting to know people, in this community, people that have helped and supported me. That's mostly it. So, but I got some bigger some bigger names coming in at the end of the month. I have Aaron the Toy Enhancer coming on. We have JLS Comics at the end of the month. And as of right now, I have Gridiron coming on next month too. So I'm actually pretty excited about that. I know some people are going to say, oh, you're always saying they're too expensive. I just speak my mind, and I'm just honest about things. And I think I'm very open about everything. So anyway, there's a few things that I am going to get into that I didn't plan on getting into before we get into the news. But first, let's say hi to the chat. It's already getting a little busy. Sometimes it's busier than others. Sometimes not so much. But first, we got to start with KJ, Black Genghis, newest channel member. Thank you very much. I know he's not in right now. He joined, I think, yesterday. I happened to notice it today. So thank you very much. You know what? You guys also join. It just feels good to hit that 99 cents a month to help support little old me. And you guys know I'm little me. Anyway, Payne's Toy Samples, live in 5. I have arrived. I'm glad you're alive. PNC is here. We got Digital Diarrhea, Matthew Madsen, the first moderator. What he says go. We already said hi to PNC. I was supposed to pick up a pet skunk, but it ended up being a shitty deal. And didn't even smell it coming. Wow, dad jokes are already starting right in the beginning. We got Thanos Copter here. We got Realm of Toys. Nice to see you here. We got Carol, who's always in before her brother, and he's supposed to be one of my good friends. What kind of friend doesn't show up on time? We got Cobra Commanders in the house. We got Cap here. I can't say Cap. I can say Captain. I can't say Vergiften. Oh, maybe I can. Vergiften. Sometimes you try and say stuff. Try and look at the word and it just doesn't work, and then you just say it and it makes sense. I don't know if that made any sense. Derek is here. We got Todd C. We got my nemesis, Bees Battleground Toys. Fun, exactly. We have Patrick Straukel in the house. I think I said that right. We got B-Boy Unlimited here. We have the other moderator, Action Figs. Ed, great to see you. He was too busy. He said he'd be running a little late. He was getting some sort of job done. I'm not really sure exactly what it was. We have one of the travesties, Mr. Wonderful, is in the house. Johnny Reno, I still have to say thank you very much for that custom. Honestly, I still love it. It still sits right there. It's always going to be pretty close to me. We got Jay Astro here. We got Kiwi from another land here. Yo, Joe, how's it going? We got Fatred here. And it is Fatred. When are you going to drop the FU, man? Hello, Roman Larry. You're not Roman and Larry. See, you say Roman, Larry, and something else, but all right. Liquid Identity is here. We got Random Diorama here. Here we got Black Genghis, ready for some fun. I will never be able to pronounce this. I know someone's going to tell me how it's said. We're just going to call you 78. I know who you are. We got Stinky Cat Butt here. We got Roman right here. You want to say hi to everyone? Come up here and say hi. Come on, say hi. Come on, say hi right there. Like, everyone wants to see you. Look right there. Say hi. I love you too, buddy. All right. But I'm busy. I'm busy. It's Monday nights. I'm busy. So you can just lay down. And I know you went out because I literally just went and took you out. All right, here. Just kind of scrolling through here. I think we hit everyone. So let's hide this last comment. All right. Last week for Thursday Movie Flashback, we talked Predator. I think Matthew will agree. I had a blast, and I think a lot of you guys did too. We had a bigger turnout. It was a lot of fun. You learned so much about some of these movies, even though you watched them 100 times. You don't realize the things you might miss till you sit down and try and break them down. Uh, Quickly, we got to say hi to Tony's Figs, who I know he's on the bus right now, saving lives. So if he bounces out, we know why. You know when I normally don't have Facebook up. That's where the ding came from. Uh, we got Viper here, Feces Viper. Is that Feces Viper? And James Lucas is here. Anyway, Feces. We're gonna talk about that in a second. Anyway, yeah, we had a lot of fun, and in 2 weeks we have decided. I think we mentioned it. We're going to be doing They Live, Roddy Piper. I want to say his only movie that he ever did. It has been a long time since I've seen that. So we're going to be discussing that. We're not going to be doing a vote. We're going to do a vote later on. Once again, kind of how we're going to be doing things going forward. It makes it a little bit easier. But Matthew really wants to talk They Live. I haven't seen They Live in a long time, so that's going to be the next movie in a couple weeks. So look for that to go up because I'm going to do a thumbnail pretty early. At least I'm going to try to. And then this week, I do have a good amount of stuff that I've ordered. I have a couple of Valaverse figures coming in that I'll be doing reviews on. I got a Gridiron loadout, the Rakondo loadout, but I will be using it for the Rakondo buck, but with that wonderful snow job head, because I want him to have his own look rather than just have a head on Rakondo. I ordered some Marauder Gunrunner stuff. I've never had it before. I'd been looking at it, and then I watched Dreadnought Ryan's video, and I went ahead and I ordered that. So I do want to say this. Listen, if you're not following Dreadnought Ryan, and if Matthew or Ed, if you guys could grab a link to Dreadnought Ryan and post it in there, he's just over 900,000, over 900. He's closing in on 1,000, which is your vaunted. Let's get monetization fully. Go over there and give him a follow. Black Genghis, I know, will definitely. Black Genghis will definitely agree with what I'm saying, and I know Tony will. Listen to what they say. Again, I think Ryan's awesome. You know, I've already had him on Thursday with a friend, and I really like the guy personally. He's a fun to chat with. But let's see how close we can get him to 1,000. So if one of you guys can drop that, I'd love it. It'd be great. So before I get into toy news, I got to talk about something. And I'm not going to get so much into these details that have come out. And it's not even toy related per se. It's this Vince McMahon stuff. And if anyone has been a wrestling fan, is a wrestling fan or has been, and you've followed any type of channel, any wrestling channel on YouTube, you've probably heard about some of the sick and disgusting things. And there's been more and more stuff that has been coming out. And I don't ever like to, I don't like to, once you say someone is something, it's, it sticks with them. And if it's not true, I don't like doing that. I want to say hi to Toyamic Displays. Thank you very much. I think I saw you make a comment on one of my videos, but I don't think I've ever seen you live in the chat. So thank you for joining. I hope you enjoy it. I hope to see you back here every single Monday. It's great getting more and more people. And then we definitely have to say hi to Kenzo really quick. So anyway, back to the whole Vince McMahon thing. There's been more and more stuff coming out. And at first, you're like, there's so many people around, you don't want to believe it. And more stuff comes out. And I'm not even going to get into to how sick and demented the stuff that has been coming out is. You guys can go look it up for yourselves and realize just how sick he is. But other than some of the stuff being criminal, if it's true, it's when people do stuff like this, and it's awful, but there's so much of your childhood that gets ruined. Whether you're looking at, again, you get mad at me, Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby. It's hard to watch some of this stuff and separate what they did from stuff that they've created. At least for me, I know some people have no problem with him. And with Vince McMahon, I have to say, I know Travis will probably agree with this, and some of the other guys. Like, that is literally one of our voices from our childhood. Hearing him announce wrestling, and then to know that as things go on, and again, I'm not even going to say what it is because maybe it comes out that it's not true, but where there's smoke, there's fire. And when there's this much stuff that keeps coming out more and more and more, and when you start hearing that him and his son had their falling out came from his son wasn't willing to put up with it, it really starts to tell you a lot about a person. But when you think it's like, this is a guy who, I agree with it, said that Chris Benoit will never be in the WWE Hall of Fame, and I have no problem with it. I think that's actually okay, but it's just the amount of stuff. And to know that, like, anytime that I want to go back and watch anything like this, you're going to hear his voice, and now you're going to have a whole new feeling and look at things. And it's just, I don't know. It pisses me off that they do something like this anyway. Like, anyone would do something like this. That there's just such sick sons of bitches out there. But it does ruin so many childhoods that we had and how we look at things. So, and again, I'm not trying to say, oh, well, it would have been okay if, he wasn't the voice of the WWE for so long, or WWF. But I'm just saying in general. And it's just something that it kind of was like weighing on me, and it popped up more right before I went on. So I just wanted to say something about that. Kenzo says Bill Cosby was a big one. His himself cassette was one of the first tapes I ever bought, and I memorized the skits. Now to the things, the POS, he is sickening. Yeah, I think the Bill Cosby one to me wasn't as shocking because I had heard so many different things, and maybe I didn't hear that many things about Vince McMahon, even though so much stuff was out there. But yeah, maybe I just wasn't listening to. But there was one guy that talked on the radio. I've mentioned this before, that talked about Bill Cosby, and he didn't really realize, that everyone didn't know it until, in all honesty, what it was a black comedian was the one that said it, and everyone went, "Oh my God, how could you say that about him?" And rather than him looking at him like, "Oh well, if he's a black comedian, if he's one of our black idols, we should idolize him and ignore what he did." He's like, "Dude, the guy's a piece of shit. Like, everyone knows he does it. We shouldn't be looking at race or sex or anything when it comes to stuff like that." Anyway, this is kind of what I wanted to discuss about Vince McMahon. And yet, here we are on Bill Cosby. I'm sorry. Toymic, hey, Punk, that Sky Striker in the background. You need that water slide kit from Bad Mother Tattoos. It takes it to the next level. I don't even put that thing up. And, God, this is going to sound awful. And I'll show you. This bugs the shit out of me. It was hanging, and it fell, and when I grabbed it, the cannon broke. I know, little things. But the problem is I had to glue this together, so I just can't reprint this because I'd have to pull this apart. So until I find a way to fix it, it just kind of sits there, and it does get pretty brittle. A lot of people don't realize 3D printing stuff gets brittle and stuff like that. So But thank you very much. Thank you. I do want to get some stickers eventually. Probably by the time I order them, there'll probably be one that's coming out. So, Mr. Wonderful says you have to separate it. If you don't, then there isn't a majority of the people in public image that hasn't done something we'd all be upset with. Okay, listen. Listen. I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he cheated on his wife. He was an adulterer. Okay. Big deal. You know what? People do that all the time. I'm not saying you should do it, and I think it's good, but it's like, okay, you weren't a total piece of shit. But you are right. In some ways, you have to separate it. I have a very hard time separating like what Michael Jackson did. There's one with Stephanie yelling at her father. She was not acting. Something messed up happened there. Yeah, I think, yeah. There's going to be a lot of stuff like that that comes down. And again, it's disgusting, man. I mean, first off, it's absolutely disgusting what he did. I mean, absolutely disgusting what he did. So quickly here, toys again. Dreadnought Ryan, thank you, Matthew. Here's a link to it. So if you have a moderator and you need links put in, they can usually put the links in. Like, let's say you don't do it in one of your live streams, you ask your moderators to do it. That's a crazy concept. Everyone that has a fairly large channel, they should have a moderator to do stuff like this. Anyway, if you haven't followed Dreadnought Ryan, mostly GI Joe, Gridiron, different things like that. It's probably what you guys are here for. Go over there and give him a follow. Try and get him to 1,000. Again, good guy. I really like him personally, so I wouldn't be shouting him out if I didn't think that. Brick, how are you doing? Love seeing you here. All right. So I'm just kind of scrolling through here and nothing else. Yeah, see, links, exactly. You get links, get a moderator. It's had a BMW Rhino. Hey, Lawrence, how you doing? Hey, Matthew, Joe, how are you doing? It's Matthew. Don't call him Matt. He doesn't like it. Oh, and Aaron the Toy Enhancer. All right, we're done. Now we'll get into some cool ass news. Jay Astro says it's not surprising about Vince. He made no effort to hide what he is. Surprised it took this long. I think 100% you're onto it. And I think that's what like totally shocks me, that it's taken this long. Kind of like Bill Cosby, like it was out there. But the fact that all these, I think it also makes you look at all these wrestlers and it's like, did they all know what was going on? And at the same time, you're kind of like, wait a minute, like, did they all turn a blind eye? I can't believe that there's that many pieces of shit, men and women in the WWF and what became the WWE that knew that this was going on and just turned a blind eye. Now, maybe he was just, an adulterer back in the day. But again, just the stuff that that they're talking about, it's just it's disgusting on many, many levels, but I don't know. I just wanted to mention that because, again, it just kind of, I should have done a whole live stream on it. That's what I should do, is do a whole live stream on it. Do it on a channel that's not monetized, so you can talk about the awful things that were actually said that happened. So allegedly, got to remember allegedly, right? Allegedly. I won't say that about OJ because we know he lopped off 2 domes. Okay, I don't care what anyone says. All right, so let's get into a little bit of toy news here. And listen, if you guys want to tune out, it's that time because it's Masters of the Universe time. And I don't have very much, and we've already discussed this. A matter of fact, I don't know how I haven't really found more of these, but because I know they're out. And I showed Ram Man last week. I believe I showed Ram Man. I know one of my toy stores, Nerd Out, actually has this whole wave in stock. Or at least they did. Probably sold out by now. But you do have the Turtles of Grayskull Shredder. Again, I'm not a Turtles fan, and I'm not picking these up, although I did pick one up. I do like the concept. I think they're actually pretty cool. They look nice. They look fun. So I absolutely love the concept. And again, we talked about this last week, and I was discussing, and he happened to be in the chat. And his name is slipping. My buddy's Customs. Hold on. My buddy's Customs talking how like this was his dream as a kid. Up there he is right now. And then quickly, I have to say here, Sergeant Red says we have all those in stock. If anyone needs them, they are cool fakes. So you hear that, my buddy's Customs? You can hit up John over at Sarge and Reds. And I'm sorry, Sarge, I didn't mean nerd out. I meant Sergeant Reds has them. I actually haven't seen them on your Instagram, so that's why I did not know that. But my buddy's Custom says, I want that shredder. I'm going to make a purple cloth goods cape for him, like the vintage version, and paint his chest gray so it is similar to the cartoon version. You must be on some good edibles because your typing is awful, but your Customs, when I see your stuff, when you're on with Oz, who I still haven't seen yet, you do some really good stuff, especially when you're in the middle of doing stuff and something like this gets drawn and you're still in the middle of doing the custom. I still love that picture. It's awesome. So anyway, back of the card here, and we get to see Shredder fighting Splinter. And a little bit bigger picture here. Again, looks really nice. And as I kind of pointed out, it looks like Shredder it's King Grayskull, I believe. And he looks more like King Grayskull. So, yeah, there's, again, it's cool looking. I love this idea. And I know some people don't like it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. But to me, it would be like, if there were good Transformers, and I do like the Transformers G.I. Joe crossover, it's the same concept. We know they're in the same universe. Let's say hi to Toy Connections. Oz is like me. He listens without commenting, so Lawrence doesn't realize he's getting a view from us. And then Ken comes in and says, "Hey, look, I'm watching. You get a view." And Oz is just mad because I don't have him on, and he's he's on every stream whoring himself out. Oh, look at this. Blake Angus sent you a shout out, Ken. What were you? Twat fuck. Or is it a fuck? Hold on. There's construction going on in the townhouse next to mine. So Roman thinks there's someone knocking at the door. There's no one knocking at the door, Andrew.
Oh, I thought Grandma just fell down 9 stories.
Grandma?
I don't know. It sounded like a grandma falling down 9 stories.
Where the hell is it? You know what? Go away. All right. Anyway, that's all the Motu we have. Now on to our favorite, McFarlane. McFarlane Toys. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This guy, if he doesn't drop a Batman in these slides, I will be shocked, right? This is like, let's remove this. I gotta say this. I don't collect McFarlane. I think this has become my favorite part of the slideshows, because I think everyone is gonna have a good laugh at this stuff. I feel like our banter when it comes to the McFarlane is awesome. All the chats that you guys are throwing in here. We got Sarge, who is an active an active seller of it, constantly talking about chucking them into Van Dyke. But he still carries them. And I'm assuming he only carries them because, well, they sell, right? They got to sell to a point, right? Anyway. Um, oh, so we get Batgirl. Maybe we don't get a Batman. Maybe we just get a Batgirl. This is a gold label. I don't remember if this is. Oh, it's a Target exclusive. Says it right there. I don't believe I have any other photos of it. I do like the way this looks. You can see the cloth cape. I don't believe it's $40. Thank God. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Again, it is McFarlane, so how are they going to scale with the other McFarlane figures? You never know. But other than that, the fact that you can't see the face and you can kind of see what it looks like it's stitched up. And I believe this is is this one of the ones they actually wore in the Batgirl TV show that was just not really good? I can't remember if they showed her whole face. In Toyamic, am I saying it right? Toyamic displays. I need that Batgirl for the Bat family. Yeah, it's cool. Like again, I think it looks nice. Even though I'm not collecting McFarlane, I think some of his stuff looks really good. Pins aside, and we're actually going to talk about the pins because I actually want to point that out in one of them. So, Chris the Old Crow says McFarlane Toys, the cheapest no play toy you never asked for now. Everything is clearance price whenever I see them. I think a lot of those come into Target and go right to clearance. But you never know. Well, Motu was doing that too for the longest time too. It was actually crazy how quickly that stuff would come in and go right to clearance. I love John. I don't know who half the figures are he makes. It's so true though. Like there's so many, which is good for deep cuts, but a lot of times people just want the basic figures, and it's like, how long did it take to get a basic Wonder Woman for people? And then here we have Crazy Eyes Flash. It looks like he's almost Jokerized them. So I don't know anything about this. Another Target exclusive. Now, you look at that face and you know this thing is getting Jokerized. I don't know where Allison is to tell me how many Batmans and Snake Eyes have been dropped since the stream started, or how many Jokerized are coming. But look at this thing. Like, you can't tell me that like he doesn't have a Jokerized version waiting to come, because that thing is just sitting there. And I totally miss Graph. Graph. This is the old Flash. You can tell by the Depends he's wearing. The diaper doesn't look that bad. I mean, we've seen some pretty bad diapers. Oh, come on, John, that's mean. Looking at this one, I see why Target sends it straight to clearance. Well, you know what? Maybe someone will pick it up and drop it off at your store later on. I know you don't do that. So I know you don't send people out to Target at 8:00 to raid the aisles like other toy stores tend to do. So again, that's another thing that makes Sergeant Red's good. He's not raiding the toy aisle, so you can come later on to his store and pay an extra $5 or $10 for the same figure. All right, McFarlane store here. So this is a McFarlane store exclusives. And it is the 2-pack from what Batman is that? Dark Knight Rises. Is that what it is? Dark Knight Rises, I think. So you get Batgirl on the Bat Pod. Now, I know a lot of people were talking about this. I've heard them talking about it. And the question is this figure going to be in scale with this Bat Pod? Is the Bat Pod going to be too small? It's one of those. Matthew says, yes, it is Dark Knight Rises. Again, before anyone goes, how do you not know that? When you're up here alone, it's hard to, sometimes you forget things. But I think this looks really good. And if you are collecting the movie stuff from the Nolan trilogy, this would be a must-have. I do think this looks really good. I like the Bat Pod. I love the concept in um, the Dark Knight, which I really loved. I really liked the Dark Knight version when it comes uh, out of the tumbler. Again, a lot of fun. This one is obviously a little bit different. So you can see that it scales pretty good with her, but yeah, I am interested to see if it's smaller. And if it is, it might fit good for like G.I. Joe. Now, this is something, in my opinion, works great for G.I. Joe. Not too much customizing. And I say that because I found it odd that it actually has guns on it. I mean, did that just slip by DC that he dropped guns on this thing? The Batmobile doesn't have guns, as we know, because uh, Ace from Rambing Toys has dropped a whole set where you can add guns to it and stuff. So let's say hi to Briscoe really quick here. A lot of people showing up here. Listen, quickly, if you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. If you haven't hit subscribe, I don't know why you haven't. What the hell are you doing here if you haven't hit subscribe? But make sure you hit the like button. It really does help the algorithm in YouTube. All right. So here we have the Batgirl. I think she looks pretty good. She has a small waist, kind of big hips. Not big hips. You know, it looks way better than what Super 7 does. Like Super 7, you know, when they show you one thing, they show you one thing, but you don't really get that. I actually saw a video on the Riker, and I was really impressed with the guy. Never heard of him before, but he did a pretty good review of the Riker, talking about how the face sculpt just isn't like it. Now, I put the side shot here because I've talked about the pins before and how I know a lot of people hate pin joints, and I've mentioned numerous times how one of the biggest issues with a lot of McFarlane figures is that the pins are huge. It's not that they're just pins, they're just huge. But when I'm looking at this here, the pins are pretty much seamless. They're very small. They're obviously the same color. And I think it actually works. I think the silhouette of this figure looks, really nice. So it is a Marvel, a McFarlane exclusive to a store. So you're going to be paying the shipping and handling. And I want to say Robo said it's the same price or roughly the same price as the Batmobile. Sorry, John. Guys, I'm sorry. I will stop pin shaming figures with pins. I will go to pin sensitivity training starting next week. I promise you. Let me ask you guys a question really quick while I'm here, and I got John here. How many of you guys would like to see a tour of Sergeant Reds? I've talked to John about doing it, and he's fully down. It doesn't mean that I'd run out and do it, this week. But would you guys like to see a tour of his? I'm just joking with you. I'm gonna fucking do it eventually, but I'm just wondering if you guys would be interested. You hear me talk about the store a lot, so and eventually I want to get with John and actually put together a really good, better than my normal videos, let's just say. Wow, all I had to do is bring up that, and we get a new guy, Grizzy Horn, coming in saying he would love that place. So, all right, guys. Well, John says, not if you shame all the toys. Well, not if you shame me for my height. Yeah, he pulled out. Listen, I talk about how you guys are mean to me. I go in there to buy stuff, and this fucker, he pulls out a fucking tape measure to measure me in front of someone. No, a Grizzly Horn, that's cool. No, that's cool. Like, I love that people just lurk and they just watch and they're enjoying everything. Yeah. John, I'm just going to say this. If I show up there and you have a height requirement to get in without a parent, I'm going to be pissed. you could not have used a yardstick. All right, you know what? How do you guys show up on my stream and you're mean to me in my own stream? And we haven't even gotten anywhere. So here's a front shot of the of this bat pod, and again you can see the guns. And I think something like this for Cobra or Joe would work. Now, how much you're going to pay for it? The fact that it is, the fact that it's probably never really going to go on sale, especially after you pay shipping and handling, is kind of disappointing. But who knows? Maybe he'll do another one. But I think something like this would definitely fit, especially for maybe like the Dreadnoughts. It definitely fit them. Payne says the shot of Lauren standing outside looking all dejected from the meeting ride requirements. Yes, I know. I knew that would make you guys laugh. You know, maybe when I do it, that will be the thumbnail, that I can't get into Sergeant Reds on my own. So then, all right. So then we have this Batman, and I gotta talk about this because it doesn't make any sense. Now I remember this scene. I remember the scene where he uses this, but if I remember correctly, he never didn't have the cowl on, right? He always had his mask on. Am I missing something? So, but what I can't get over with this is that every shot of this head looks like it is photoshopped on. So this was the first one that I had seen, and I had brought it up. So I got to draw Lauren standing next to a height requirement sign, looking all sad. Well, I'm sure that will be done by the end of this stream. And Tony says, never unmask while you use this. And he doesn't come with a mask. That is Christian Bale. But I'm looking at this, and every shot, that is a photoshopped head on there. You cannot tell me that is the actual head. It looks like it is photoshopped on. And from the first time that I had seen this, I want to say last week or maybe the week before, especially the front shot, I'm just like, that is a photoshopped head. So again, why he did this, why he didn't give him a Batman mask. If you want to do an unmasked one and say, here's a few accessories, but there's no reason why he should not have had the mask, because he has the mask the whole time when he's using this. So I just, it's one of those things where it's another head scratcher by our friend Uncle Todd over there. Snow Wolf says the face sculpt is a bit weird. Yes, it is. It is extremely weird. And again, I go back to this shot right here. I had a bigger shot before, like last week. It looks completely photoshopped on. Krusty is emo Batman, like, isn't that kind of what Batman is? Emo? I mean, he's not emo because he's angry, but he's a sad man. Again, I think this is why the McFarlane part of the show was always the best. Marbs says the side view of that Batman. I know, like, yeah. He's just like, I got like, it looks like he's sticking his head out. Like, it just looks so damn weird. But again, if you guys want it, it's there. It's available. All right. There's all of his accessories again. No cowl with it. So now we're gonna get to I believe this is a McFarlane store, another exclusive. A glow-in-the-dark Green Lantern. Now, I know nothing about this Green Lantern. I do think it looks really good, though. And you got a nice cape. The head looks good for the most part. I'm not a big fan of the hair, but they do give you some accessories where, like, I don't know, maybe throwing energy fist or whatever they want. Here's everything that he comes with. Was it KJ that said no one even uses those cards, yet they give you like the stand? It was like a couple months ago, and absolutely correct. Like I don't think anyone really uses the stands, but it's definitely yeah. Oh, KJ says this is Parallax Evo Hell Jordan. Thank you very much. Listen, this is not my forte. I'm not an expert in this, so I will make mistakes. That is the good thing about me. I'm willing to admit mistakes. But what I can promise you is that I have moderators that can drop links into the chat when you want to find something. Although we don't do that very often. So Christy O'Crow says, I dig the podium for the card. Nice flare. I'm with you. Now, I don't collect it. So for me, it's not a big deal. But I like the podium way more than just a card that you put behind you. It gives it some nice flair to it. So, and we want to say hi to JLS, who I just mentioned. We'll be on Thursday with a friend on the 29th of February. That's right. The 29th. He said, I had to double check that because it's the 29th of February, but it's leap year. So he gets to be the first leap year Thursday with a friend. And if I'm still doing it in 4 years and Thursday is on the 29th, well, we'll have it again. All right. But you do have his ring. I'm sorry, the lantern to charge the ring. Right now, I don't know anything about this, and Cage is probably like, this is fucking Travis Moody all over. Sorry, Travis. I love you. Here's the box for it. Does anyone know if the box on the outside glows like some of the other glow in the dark figures that we tend to get? Here's the back of it, and listen, I said this before. I think DC, they're sitting on a property like the Green Lanterns, which you could move away from, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, everything on Earth, and have an absolute amazing storyline. I absolutely love. I love the whole Green Lantern thing. I don't know a whole ton of it, but it's so damn cool. Just the concept of it is really awesome. So, and we got to say hi to Shark Eyes. I saw him pop in here. Did not say hi to him. Another wonderful channel member. Thank you very much. Here's everything that comes in. Nice little box. Little flare. And then you get the glow in the dark. Now this, again, if I saw this in Target, and again, I don't believe it's a Target exclusive, so I'm not going to even find it there. I might even pick it up, even though it looks like the legs glow, but the pins on the legs probably don't. And, oh God, I'm pin shaming, but I haven't hit my pin sensitivity class yet, so I can still pin shame. Again, this could be awesome, or it could be awful. I said he's a wonderful channel member. You're not a channel member. You just are here. There's a channel member button to become a channel member. It's only 99 cents, and it feels so good to hit that button. And then I can buy more toys at your store with the money that you've given to the channel. Anyway. But if you remember the guy that we were talking to into your store that said, anytime that you join a member, guy that we were talking to said, anytime you subscribe to something, you're paying for it. And we're like, you don't. John and I were talking to a guy, nice guy, but he's like, you could tell he's one of those guys that maybe he's a little conspiracy theorist. And he was just like, anytime you subscribe to something, you're paying. And we're like, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe to a channel. I'm not going to say his name because maybe one day he'll watch, but I doubt it. Anyway, all right. Let's get to some NECA stuff. Again, stuff I normally don't get into. And that is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle monsters. And again, I'm not into I'm not into that stuff, turtles or the monsters, but I do cover the monsters, so I figured, hey, you know what? All right, Joe the painter. John really wants me to say it, and hey, you know what? It's he's your client, so um, and John says this should be in this week. So okay, yes, crusty old crow. For just the price of a cup of coffee, just 99 cents, you could buy a toy for a punk with for a punk without. Hey, it's only 99 cents a week. I mean, I'm sorry, a month. Unlike those Sally Suthers, where she wanted you to pay like 99 cents a day, you know? John, I don't blame you. It looks like a homeless. It looks like a homeless in the LA meth turtle. Oh, you guys are the best. Okay, so I also saw this, and it has some. Oh, it has a really cool accessory, and that is the bear claw at the bottom. So it's yeah. See, look at that. I'm a deal. You know, I'm a deal. And you got to pay for four of those people. You're only paying 99 cents for one of me, and I give you more than all four of them do per week. I listen. I like Toy Anxiety. I'm not starting a roof with them. I do like those guys, so don't think I'm starting a fight with them. This thing's kind of cool, but it is creepy looking. I guess there's something about a turtle becoming a werewolf that is kind of creepy. I look at it and I'm like, I guess putting hair on a turtle, and to think a turtle's already been humanized, it's kind of it's kind of weird how they did this. But it's there. If you like this whole monsters thing, you can get a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle that becomes a werewolf. Woody says, "What is this? A wolf doll?" You know, it's not a bad name, to be honest. You guys are awesome. I mean it. Like, I'm listening. I'm trying to read these comments, and you guys are completely derailing me, which I think is what the whole ramblings come from, right? Anyway, if you want this, John from Sergeant Reds will have it. Send him a message, and he will be happy to ship it out to you. Let's see here. Werewolf the Wolf. So there you go. But what really got me was a lot of pictures here. Man, everything looks creepy on this. The nails on his feet and his hands just kind of creep me out. The head looks just, I don't know. But this just creeps me out. It's obviously a drawing or a painting or whatever it is for the cover of the figure, and it creeps me out. And I think because partly I'm trying to see Teen Wolf like this, but when I think of like the turtles, I think of a smooth face, and then you start getting this weird fur, or I believe wolves actually have hair, not fur. It just, I don't know. It looks really strange. Toyamic says, give me more than Last Ronin figures. That's such a great story. Yeah, I don't know anything about the story, but I will say this. I looked at those Last Ronin those last Ronin figures, and I'm like, I don't even like turtles, but I would be willing to pick one of these up, or I wouldn't mind being in that line if I didn't have such a limited amount of space and money, money to go with it. So anyway, there's your werewolf, Raphael as werewolf, and again, it just kind of creeped me out, and I'm just like, you know what, I really need to get that. This simply makes 0 sense. At least create from a lagoon makes perfect sense. Yeah, the creature from lagoon, from the lagoon, the creature from the Black Lagoon, I think is what you're trying to say, right? No, like I guess putting the hair on it, I don't know, creeps me out. But here's everything that you do get with it: 2 different heads, you get 6 different hands, but the bear claw is really cool. I know Pain is like, I wish NECA went on sale just so I could get one of those. Just because Pain will spend $40 on a figure to get the accessories, and then try and piece out the rest of what it comes with. Fatrit, I don't believe that it is flocked, but it looks like it should be. It looks like it should be, and I think that would actually be pretty cool if they were. And Sarge said the same thing. It should be flocked. And Payne says a creature from the Blue Lagoon would be Brooke Shields. That's not mean. She's not a creature. Tormic says someone said it in a stream I was watching, but wasn't Raph already another monster? Why 2 Raphs? Why not Taka Razor or the Wolfman as the Wolfman? I believe they've all been someone so far, if I'm correct. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's the toys. I don't have an answer for you. It says that extra head has some serious underbite. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Sarge says, "Yep, him and Leo both have double creatures." So, I mean, again, I wouldn't. You know what? I think these things. If I remember correctly, I think last night on Hella Dope Toys, Aaron and Ted, I thought were saying that these things sold really, really well. Ask John, Sergeant Red, were these? I mean, you've kept all of these. Do they seem to sell pretty well for you? I know most people that have gotten the gargoyles. They've just been like, "Yep, they sell," and we sold out a lot of them. John buys a big quantity, so if you're looking for something for NECA, you'll probably be able to find it there. So anyway, on to some MAFEX here. They dropped some stuff. I don't believe that I discussed this last week. So we have Blue Iron Man, because you know what we need? Another Iron Man. Who doesn't need another Iron Man, right? We all love our Iron Man. But I have no feelings for this. But I mean, they're really nice figures. I cannot pin shame them because they are pinless. And we have KJ here. That Superboy is excellent. Just the jacket alone. You're jumping ahead. I'm gonna get there. But yeah, this every time I see an Iron Man, I wonder how does his body, like how does he really fit in the armor? It just doesn't seem to really work. I just, I wear a Carhartt jacket and I'm like restricted, let alone a suit of armor. But but I do believe this is just another repaint. You have blast effects for it. I do think the color blue is really nice. I think it looks really cool. They do all these wonderful blasts. I love when they show like blast effects of someone flying, but no one wants to like throw it on a flight stand and go, "Hey, this is how it's going to look when the flight stand's wrapped around it. So, Matthew says that my Marvel Legends stealth suit is good. Yeah, I'll tell you what. A lot of those look really good. I do love this. I mean, I know this has become an iconic scene for Iron Man here, but I think it looks really good. You can't really complain too much about it, right? Now, I didn't understand this here. They showed, I wasn't sure if they were trying to show 4 heads or if they were just the same shot. But there's something. Oh, you know what? The nose is different on them. Why is the nose different on them? So they have eyes on it. They have blank eyes. And then they have the nose. And let's say hi to Allison Troy. Again, another wonderful channel member, unlike John from Sergeant Reds. So now, I don't know if anyone else noticed that the blast effects seem a little warped, and all I could think of is, are these Marvel? Are these the Marvel blast effects? Because you can see that they're a little, they come to seem to be a little warped. Which, again, unfortunately, that's how it is, right? And now, just for KJ, the newest channel member, Superboy. And I did not read the Superboy comic. I collected it. I would say back in the day, I was pretty bad when it came to collecting comics. If something started with a number 1, I would try and grab it and collect them all, hoping that they would one day be worth money. Since Image seemed to put out a new number 1 every single week, usually about 3 or 4 different ones with about 10 different covers, well, when I tried selling them, they're worth absolutely nothing. So, but I had this, and I have to say, he looks like he's straight out of that comic book. Absolutely straight out of that comic. Muda66, if I'm paying $100 for a figure, nothing should be warped. I agree 100%. I can't argue with that. If you're paying $100, things should be solid. And if they should be solid. You shouldn't have to worry. There's no 14 and up or 3 and up or 4 and up. That should be straight. It should hurt your finger, like trying to plug a NECA accessory into something. If you have NECA accessories, you know exactly. Like those things could kill. Like if there, honestly, if there was a zombie apocalypse, I might run up and start grabbing like my NECA accessories, especially the blast effect that came with Thalog. That thing is like that thing's a weapon. All right. Yeah, Lenny from G.I. Joe was upset. I talked to him about that before we didn't discuss that on the stream. We discussed that, and I'm glad that he he talked about it getting corrected. But yeah, we talked about that last week when he was on Dan Who. But I thought that interview was a really good interview, discussing everything and how by 2025 that should be a thing of the past. I just feel like when it comes to Hasbro, it's always going to be a new thing that's going to cause an issue. But anyway, this is Superboy. I think it looks amazing. And KJ is dead on, man. Like the leather jacket alone almost makes it worth it. Now, again, I'm not collecting Superman stuff. If I was, I'd probably be all in on this because the figure itself looks great. Now, I know when I was watching Robo Don't Know, he said the same thing, that he doesn't remember him ever taking the jacket off. But he also said I wasn't really reading it either, and I don't either. But like I said, I didn't really read it. I collected it, and I think I actually finally sold that lot off. I had like the first 20 or 25, but I don't remember taking the jacket off, or the glasses for that matter. But here he is. I actually don't think he looks bad without the jacket, but it just doesn't have that iconic look. These pictures, I swear I remember them in the comic. And there is one picture that was like straight out of the comic. The glasses are molded onto the head sculpt. So there's 3 different head sculpts. And instead of having a separate set of glasses, which we all know it seems like everyone, or shall I say, it seems like no one can make proper glasses. Although NECA seemed to make some pretty good ones for the gargoyles and elves. So someone's on to doing it right. This one here is straight off of one of the. This image here is directly off of one of the comic covers. It might even be issue number 1. Maybe KJ will remember. And let's give a big shout out here to Matt O'Brien. I saw him on the Full Force and asked him where he was, and he must have remembered that I go live on Monday. So thank you for joining, Matt. I love your banter when it comes to G.I. Joe. You really do. You do know your stuff. And I don't know if I ever told you this before. I think I told Matthew. Before I knew either one of you, I always thought you guys were the same person. Because I just would see Matt and Matthew, and it was always in the Full Force. And I would never see you guys like right next to each other. So when I'd see it, I'm like, is that the same person? Until I started talking to Matthew. And then I realized that he's not you. Anyway, here are the 3 different heads. You got an angry head, although he doesn't look too angry. You got the, I guess they're glasses. They look more like goggles, and then you have, just a regular base head. So, but again, I think it does look nice. There's no doubt about it. And if you're like a Superman collector, especially during this time era, it's great. Like I think people would absolutely. I think you're gonna love this. And even though I've never had a MAFEX, as a matter of fact, I've never even like played around with one. I don't hear many bad things about them. So let's quickly remove this. We're gonna get into Mezco in a second. Muda66 says it's not cost cutting. It's not cost cutting. It's just only certain materials are allowed for various weapons. It's more likely the Hasbro stuff gets its hands to play with the NECA. So what it really was, and again, I told you, I've discussed this before, and maybe you weren't around when I discussed it. I talked to Lenny for a long time before, and there was a dispute with the factory trying to get the durometer harder. And there were some people that even disagreed, and they're like, hey, this is 4-up, and they were arguing. But if you look at even the earlier classified figures, like those weapons weren't soft. Like they weren't, I mean, some of them were a little warped. But they weren't soft. They were perfectly fine. Now, the one thing that Lenny said on that stream that he never mentioned to me, and it makes perfectly good sense, is that certain things on weapons, if they were to shear off or even be used, kind of like the NECA stuff, it could be harmful and hurt a kid. Like I said, if you gave a kid a NECA figure, if you gave them, even though I say like the AWOC figures are meant, like you give them to a kid, they ain't coming back broken, but those swords you better take away, because those things will cut you. All right. I mean, that's the best way to put that. They will absolutely cut you. So, and B says Red Pelican, Valor vs. Amazon store collected the price for Arctic Ghillie suit. Yeah, they corrected it. Yeah, so if you didn't know, the Arctic Ghillie suit on Amazon was $15, but it's really supposed to be $25. I guess they corrected it once they figured it out. I guess it's just a mishap, kind of like what and Entertainment Earth and BBTS did. And if I was one of your good buddies, KJ, I would have contacted you and let you know about that $24 price point. Unfortunately, the travesty did not do that. Listen, when there's good stuff going on and a toy kind of mood, oh my God, there's good stuff going on. And there's a lot of inside jokes that I know KJ knows and Tony knows, but there's a lot of good stuff going on with their last stream. So, and you're welcome, KJ. That's what friends do for each other. If I had your personal phone number, I would have hit you up and been like, hey, you know what? Get over there, get these for $25. They're priced wrong. Anyway, get to some Mezco. Now, I know that people have had, I don't know why, but they've talked about how is Mezco ever going to make a Robin? Well, I mean, they made Nightwing, so I don't know why anyone would think they're not going to make Robin, but they finally got around to doing a Robin. Now, it's not something I would be into because I'm not into the classic Batman and stuff, but it does look like an old classic Robin. And again, if you don't know anything about Mezco, they're known for their soft goods. So, unlike where a McFarlane or Hasbro, almost everything that they're going to have on is going to be plastic. Their whole outfit will be plastic. Mezco is known for it. When it comes to something like Robin, you're obviously going to see, the lines and everything on his elbows, but with Batman, you obviously don't. And Rock and Roll is like the perfect example. You can see his lines, but Destro, it's nice and smooth. So, Muda says, Mezco does good shit. Again, though, to justify $100, I will be getting the Mezco Firefly. It looks amazing. Hey, I'm all in on all G.I. Joe Mezcos as of right now. I think they're awesome. Payne here says he hates Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow Ninjas, so he will not be in on those for Mezco. He's just a hater. That's okay. More Storm Shadow for me. More ninjas for me. Payne hates ninjas, so I would tell you to go unlike his channel, but I like Payne as a person, even though he's a fool for not liking ninjas. I'm going to get off on this damn tangent. Anyway, Robin here with, again, they give you such really cool accessories. Again, you are paying $100 or more for these Mezco figures, but I have two Mezco. They are some of the smoothest feeling figures that you're going to find. I haven't had an issue having to heat them up, although I do believe they specifically discuss having to heat them up, but I've never had an issue. Although the first one that I reviewed, it wasn't mine and the leg broke. So, but a few people had an issue with that figure. I think that was a defective issue with the Bishop. So here's your Batman behind Robin. Again, I think it does look nice. They complement each other. Absolutely amazing. Again, if you like this era and you are all in on this, I think you're going to be happy if you order the Batman, the Joker, and the Two-Face, that you're going to get this Robin. But nice little accessories. You got your soft good cape. And again, the faces look amazing. And at least what I've seen from Mezco when they ship the stuff to you, unlike Super 7 Ultimates, the face that they show you is what you're actually going to receive. So KJ says, great knee joints here. The knees on McFarlane Collector's Edition Wonder Woman are atrocious. I don't think there's anyone that's ever said that McFarlane has great articulation or joints anywhere. Muda says, I collect Fireflies. I have 2 customs, the new one and the old one for classified. The Firefly is dope. It is. It looks amazing. And all that soft good is going to look. That's why I said if they were able to do a hooded Cobra Commander, it would be top notch because the hood would actually be soft, actually be cloth. Again, I'm not going to get into hooded Cobra Commander. I don't even know why I brought this damn thing up. All right. So here you can see the 4 figures that have already been shown that go together with these, with this line so far. And again, they all look awesome. The Joker, I think, is a standout in my opinion. But you have Robin and the Joker fighting. Again, the Boy Wonder. And again, Mezco does amazing photography for their promotionals. Something a lot of other companies or brands don't seem to do. I know KJ and I have specifically discussed the Star Wars and the Marvel not really doing such a great job when it comes to it, but there's reasons behind that. Again, there's a rooftop scene. Bunch of batarangs. Robin looks too happy. All right. And also, Batman should not have been putting so many teenage boys into compromising positions. He's not a priest. Anyway. So this picture, and I'm sorry, guys. This picture here, it bothers me. And it bothers me for one main reason, is that the capes actually look like they're hanging down. If you remember the TV series, when they walked up, because they actually weren't going up, they were walking across the ground. I don't believe that they ever showed them. They may have eventually had like strings on the capes to make it look like they were being pulled back, but they used to just hang down. And I guess back in the 60s, you don't really think about it. You don't really think about it that physics says that the cape should be hanging down, but no. So I was like, no, really, they should have made it. They should have been hanging down like they were used to. See, they sure did show the capes going down. See? Yeah. As Graf says, gravity was different back in the day. Back in my day, the way the gravity worked. It's a boutique adult toy line, not a kid line. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yes, his name was Dick. I think it was Richard Grayson, to be honest, right? I might be wrong. Anyway, more promo shots. Again, I think this figure looks really nice. And again, when it comes to, again, I have a hard time criticizing anything Mezco from the looks and everything that you're going to get with it. Price-wise, people don't understand. And I've done shows and, and talked the topic of, prices and stuff. So, quickly, I got to take a look at this because somebody sent me something. Yeah, but there were other shots, Matt. I swear I remember. I'm not the only one that remembers. There were other shots where the cape just hung down, where they didn't use the strings. I know, but there was other ones where they would show it, and I remember it being like it would be hanging down. It wasn't right, and you'd see it. I swear, unless it's that Mandela effect where you think it, and then all of a sudden it's like, no. Anyway, a lot of pretty promotional shots. Batman and Robin. So here's everything that he comes with. Bunch of different heads. Now, this is funny because again, I will rag on Super 7 Ultimates for giving you multiple heads. Like, I only have one figure, but I'm like, hey, look at all these wonderful heads that Mezco gives you. um, yes, I am a little biased. I'm not going to lie. Um, so anyway, lots of different hands, the different effects that he's going to have. So he has a punching effect. You have a batarang, one with the cable, lots of batarangs, uh, a little different punching, and I love the Mezco stands because well, they're very large for one thing. And the one thing that's nice about them being large is that if you're just going to set them by themselves, if you're going to set them by themselves, they take up that and they say, hey, this is who the character is, or this is who the line goes to. But they're all customized, and all it is a label. So it's not a big deal. Like it's not like it's hard. They're using the same stand, but it's just the little bit of detail that they put into it. So if you've never gotten a Mezco, I say you really should. Like if you're a toy collector, you should try and pick up one of every type of figure, and again, for every company. And I haven't done it. Like I said, I don't have a MAFEX. So there's a bunch of different ones that I don't have. But find something because of the price. Find something that you really like. If you like GI Joe, pick up one of the GI Joes. Pick up the Destro when it's $50 because I find it on Amazon for $50 all the time. So, yes, they are ugly and weird. Like I said, I just watched a review of the Star Trek Riker, and the guy really goes into detail about the face, and what he said, I like it because a lot of people will not call out Super 7 because they eventually want to have him on the show. I don't really care. That's not my not my prerogative when it comes to stuff like that. The Riker just looks. It doesn't look bad if it was a cartoon. Whew, well, we made it to G.I. Joe. We're here pretty early, so. All right. So Haya did another wonderful job of taking Lenny's designs and putting them into a 4-inch form and not selling them to the U.S. Yes, before anyone asks, these are Lenny's designs because they are specifically classified designs. Sure, there's some changes and stuff or little tweaks, but for the most part, they are declassified. I am not criticizing how they look at all, just merely stating that they are someone else's designs. Say hi, big shout out to Down South 77. Nice to see you here. All right. So this is Spirit and Freedom. Again, it is declassified. And again, Spirit was never my favorite figure. Matter of fact, I really didn't like Spirit. And it all goes back to the fact that in the cartoon, they had him beat up Storm Shadow. And I'm sorry. Spirit could not beat up Storm Shadow. It just makes me mad. It just makes me mad. I don't know why. But I thought this classified figure is really, really good. And this one here looks good also. They obviously give him two different types of wings. Freedom, I mean. Everything is the exact same. But these Haya, and again, until they really give us a reason, and you can only imagine that the reason that they're going to be giving us, the only reason why Haya probably can't sell them here is either they don't want it to compete with Super 7 or someone else is going to do a modern 4-inch version. That's what the rumor is, that people believe that there's going to be a modern 4-inch. And Tony says, don't be sorry. Sometimes Sunbow sucked. It just bothered me. Marv's Hobby says, Haya looks great, but it's another totally different scale. If you're already in deep with the classified line, it's hard to stand in the line, hard to budget. I am with you 100%, other than the fact that I have a whole 1/18th room dedicated to G.I. Joe. But at the same time, for me to spend $25 on these figures and then the shipping and handling because you're shipping them overseas, or getting them from another third party that somehow got them. No matter how you're looking at it, you're paying extra. A matter of fact, one of the toy stores, sorry, John, if you're still listening, Nerd Out said he is going to be carrying them. And he's like, they're going to be he's like, they're going to be a hefty price because for the most part, I'm paying the retail value to get them over here, but I really like them so much that I want to, have some and, let collectors for G.I. Joe to actually have a chance to actually get them. But these look great. And you're absolutely right. But you're absolutely right. If you're into one scale, like if you've transitioned over into the 6-inch scale and you're like, hey, you know what? I don't want to get it. Awesome. But hey, maybe you're a 1/18 scale collector and you like the classified design, but you're just like, I can't get into a bigger scale. Well, here you go. And I don't have an issue with them using the classified designs. I just think it kind of sucks for the person that designed them. That really isn't getting the credit for it. I don't know, maybe Viper Islands just distribute them. I don't know. So here you go. And again, if I didn't tell you this was classified, or if I didn't tell you this was high, you might think this was just a classified. Face is kind of shiny. That is the one thing I've kind of noticed. Some of their stuff seems to be a little shiny. But if I remember correctly, I want to say the other Spirit was a little shiny like that also. Now, again, I've never had a higher figure. No one really says bad things about them. They do just say they can be a little you have to be careful, especially with their hands. And Will R says, FYI, freedom. Oh, fly freedom, sorry. I thought you were telling me for your information. That's FYI. Fly freedom. See, now you say that, and now in my head, I have Jay telling Silent Bob to fly, fat ass, fly. Thanks a lot. Now you guys all have that in your head. Not shiny. He's glistening after he beat the crap out of Storm Shadow. Motherfucker. You're 1 second from being booted off this stream, dude. So Black Genghis is saying, I like cool Toys Club, but there's also Cats World collectibles. So if you want these, Black Genghis, aka KJ, is telling you exactly where you can get them from. So I'll leave this up there for a second. Cool Toys Club. Someone else had mentioned to me about Cool Toys Club. It is hard to justify. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't ordered any. And I guess that Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes, I guess the price is shot through the roof. Like over $100 for the figures. So kind of kicking myself for not buying those ones, but I only turn around and sell my figures anyway. But again, wonderful shots. I do like that the wings aren't too big on Freedom. If you make the wings too big, it obviously doesn't look right. And yeah. And Wraith Mace says, I purchase from Cool Toys Club all the time, which is where I buy my Warhammer 4K. Now, how are they when it comes to shipping? Is the shipping like they don't use lube or anything, or is it decent when it comes to the shipping? Because I know when some of the stuff when you try and ship it, it's crazy when you go to add the cart and then you go to ship and you're like, all right, well that's not really worth it. Again, same. It looks like it's all the exact same articulation, same stuff that comes with the classified. So I continue to talk about it over and over. There's a better shot of the figure. Like I said, I am not. Free shipping usually for me. So I guess after a certain amount, it is free shipping. So Cool Toys Club. I'm going to take a look at that. 80s Toy Boy, you came out of nowhere. Thank you very much. Shipping including at Cool Toys. So is it already? So I mean, are they $25 a figure along with free shipping, or after a certain amount? I mean, that's kind of what I'm looking at here. KJ says the Punk with Toys. Punk with Toys Club shipping is great, which pre-orders are in stock. It takes about 1, 2, 3 from overseas. It's not bad. So, all right. Oh, cool Toys Club is where I think you guys should all go order these from if you're interested. I think shipping should be included in everything. Like, just charge me a little more for the figures and make it free shipping. You're gonna make out in the end, right? For the most part. So this shot bothers me. I feel like Freedom is landing the wrong way. Although I understand he might be coming from the front, but it just bothers me. And Cotswold Collectible is out of Texas, according to Ed. All right, so we've seen enough about Spirit. Here's everything that he comes with. Extra set of hands, the exact same backpack that comes with classified. The same sniper rifle, pistol. Now, the one thing that I can say that I kind of noticed on this is he doesn't have a very large. He doesn't have an accessory that's large. God damn it. There's no way to say it without it sounding awful. And what I mean by that is the Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow have a sword that's too big. God damn it. Lady J had the one of her javelins, which seemed oversized, or at least the javelin thrower. We're just gonna move on. All right, you guys know what I'm talking about. Yes, you think it's awkward. How the hell do you think I fucking feel right now? Yes, they carry big things. Well, you know, that was specifically taken out. Well, that was taken out of the classified one because Lenny talked about it, and when Spirit was originally made, and I don't know if you may know the story, and I might be telling it, maybe missing a couple things, but he said when they first made Spirit, he was kind of a they took all different aspects from a bunch of different Native American, and they wanted to make him a specific specific Native American, have a backstory for a specific Native American land, whatever. I can't think of the name. I'm sure I'm insulting someone right now. And that wasn't part of it. So they removed that. And so that's the reason why you don't see that in the classified. I'm assuming Hyatt doesn't even know any better, that they just got the right tribe. Thank you, Woody. Thank you very much. Yes. Listen, once again, when you're sitting here doing this all by yourself, words that usually would just flow off that you don't have a problem with make you sound really dumb. I already sound dumb as it is. I'm just adding to it. Anyway, Ornation. Yes, random. All right. Yes, there's lots of names, lots of words that I could have used. Thank you guys all for being the thesaurus that I needed 2 minutes ago. If I could go back in time, go back into the future, that's what I would go do. Go back and figure. Action Freak says they aren't called tribes. Listen, I can't keep up with political correction. All right. If I had my druthers, they would still be Cowboys and Indians, what we used to play. All right. I never meant anything bad. Although they always seem to be the bad guys. So, anyway, that's the reason why. That's the reason why they removed that. And you may know the story, but since it kind of got brought up, I just figured. Now, this is one thing. There is no political correctness. It was awful. His and Stalkers, if I remember, I know Stalkers was awful. They were the two worst, if I remember correctly. They both looked so bad. And I know people will say, hey, everyone, art is how you envision it, and everyone's art is different. I don't care. It looks awful. All right. Go do the art somewhere else. All right. It was awful. Pimp Daddy Destro was awful too. It has been a long time since I've looked at that, but now you have me wanting to go and take a look and see. Anyway, there was some bad art. Most of the art was pretty good, but there was some bad art. There's no doubt. And I remember when they were talking about this one and Spirit, and they were talking about how wonderful it is, and I'm like, no, it's not. Cover Girls wasn't bad. Cover Girls just didn't look like a G.I. Joe character, in my opinion. I just didn't think it looked like what you would assume Cover Girl and G.I. Joe was going to look like. Okay. And then we got Zartan. So Zartan, I can't even say it. Sorry, Bobby. I can't even say it. Zartan. Zartan. If you don't know, Beast Battleground cannot say Zartan right. He also can't say figure right. He says figure. But I'm starting to realize a lot of people say figure. They leave out the U completely for figure. Sorry, Bobby. Sorry, Toy Sorceress. You say it too. Now I'm just attacking people. All right. Now I'm just attacking people for them saying figure. Chris McLeod, you say it too, goddammit. Stop saying figure. It's figure. There's a U-R-E at the end. All right. Let me take a drink of iced tea. And believe me, this is, that's a lot coming from me because you've heard me pronounce words too. No, that is not Midwest. How do you spell figure? There is a U-R-E at the end, right? It is figure, not figure. And again, if you say figure too fast, someone's going to think you're saying something different, and you may just want to watch what you're saying. Look, Nolan, figure. See, look at that. It's right there. And I'm just calling people out now, pissing people off. People dropping off, going, motherfucker. Who the hell does this motherfucker think he is? I'm the guy that can say figure. Ed says, Lawrence has offended so many communities of people in one stream. Let's all give him a round of applause. Give it a thumbs up, all right? Hit that thumbs up for the amount of peoples that I have offended tonight. Look, even down south, look at that. Now the Zartan thing, that's funny because Bobby knows that he has a hard time saying Zartan. All right. The goddamn figure thing bugs the living shit out of me. If you guys haven't figured that one out, I probably should stop talking. I am going to stop talking for a second because you know what? I just need a break.
Oh, hey guys, what's going on? Mossman, what are you doing back here? Oh, you see, so Skeletor, he had to go to the grocery store, He had to go buy more barbecue Pringle chips, and so he's put me in charge here for a little bit. In charge of y'all. He said, "Man, Moss Man, I have to go to the grocery store, so I need to put you in charge of Snake Mountain." Yes, that's Skeletor. That's Skeletor. Skeletor said since I was in charge, I could use the credit card and maybe go online and buy some action figures for myself.
Oh, some action figures sound kind of nice. Yes. Maybe we can go to Big Bad.
Yeah, Beastman, we don't say that around here. We go to HellDopeToys.com. They have the best prices in town, and they ship everything in one business day. One business day, Beastman. That means I buy it, and it comes to my house super fast, and they pack it all real nice. So when I go to do my YouTube reviews for my 5 subscribers, I'll be like, "Oh, look at this minty fresh packaged box that I got from HellDopeToys.com." So what are we waiting for, y'all? Let's go get that credit card and head on over to HellDopeToys.com right now before they run out of all the good stuff.
All right, I just needed a breather. Fatrid, I told Ted, when I hear my 5 subscribers, that is the part that just, it breaks me. I laugh so fucking hard. And my 5 subscribers, like, it's so damn hilarious because, honest to God, like, when you first start doing, like, any type of YouTube videos, you are literally talking to, like, 5 subscribers the whole time. All right, now let's get to Zertan. Zartan. Bobby, I love you, man. You are my nemesis. I love you. But I watch your figure reviews all the time. All right. I was going to say I'm done offending people for the show, but let's be honest. We still got an hour and 20 minutes to go. I'm going to offend someone else before the end of the stream. I'm sure of it. All right. I think this looks really good. There is a moderator of mine that doesn't feel the face looks that good. I actually dig it. I think this looks really good. I don't know how I use the word dig it. I don't think I've ever used dig it, that I dig something to express how I feel. But this has been a fucking show for the ages. I do find it weird that they're showcasing him without the hood. Because even though I absolutely hate the hood on Zartan figure, and the reason why I do is the thing comes off and never is in place. It was designed to sit over top, and now that I think about it, a Mezco Zartan with a nice actual saw. I'm excited now. You guys, Mezco's going to give us a Zartan at some point, right? Yes, Tribe. Yes, Russell, Tribe. But yeah. But you get the same face. Again, it's identical to the classified one. So again, it was relayed to me that I don't really know how or who gave them the rights to do the design. My guess is that whatever the agreement was, Hasbro handed over the classified design and said you can use them. And let's be honest, it's, I think it's bullshit because, if you design this, you should be getting something for it. So, Certic. Mezco will give us Zartan right after Hooded CC. Yeah. God damn it. But I think this does look good. Now, again, I like the makeup. I do. And I like the curls at the bottom of the makeup. And I think that's the one thing that one of my moderators didn't really care for. I think it looks good. It's something a little bit different. It's not just your straight, your straight one. And here he is right now. And since he is here right now, and there's 60 people watching, Matthew, if you could drop another link to Ryan Sweeney, Dreadnought Ryan, Hasbro must have shared the wrong links with Haya. I don't know if it's the wrong one, but they gave someone's stuff to him. Ryan, we want to get you to 1,000 so you can fully monetize and get that channel, all that YouTube, all the YouTube riches, man. Let me tell you about the YouTube riches that you get. Woo! You'll be like, man, it's like I don't even buy toys anymore. I'm getting so much money from YouTube. Oh, what? I have to pay taxes on this shit? Yes, you do. Well, if you go over $600. Anyway. Again, I like the figure. I do find it weird that they showcase him without the hood and being bald. It seems weird. It's not how I would showcase it, but I think maybe it's just showing off the face. So, but yeah, someone dropped the link for Ryan here. I want you guys all to go over there, hit that subscribe button, get him over 1,000. Again, I would not ever suggest you to go subscribe to someone's channel unless if I really thought they gave some decent content and I thought the person was a good person. So there it is. This is what happens when you have a moderator and you're like, drop a link and the link gets dropped. Let's give Matthew a big round of applause. And listen, if you want to know what we're talking about, after this, go watch the latest episode of Terradrome over on A Toy Kind of Mood. And you'll start laughing after a while, for sure. All right, so anyway, looking at this here, I don't believe the laser pistol is supposed to be that big. I think it's just blown up. Because when you see him holding it, it doesn't look like it's that large. It looks like it's in the right scale. Ryan says, I try, but I have learned the difference between ripcord and airborne. Ryan, I just felt so good that I could finally do it to someone else. But what made it even better is that somebody else had already made the comment. And I did that, oddly enough, with Zartan, and I called him Destro. Maybe it was vice versa, but I think it was one of the Zartan. And I think I referred to him as Destro like 3 or 4 times, and 4 or 5 people had made the comment that it's not that it's it's Destro, not Zartan, or vice versa. And it's one of those things where it's like, fuck, okay, yeah, I got it wrong. One person made the comment, that's fine. Like, I don't need everyone making the comment. Like, look at my channel. You know that I know who Zartan, and, I'm sorry, Zartan and Destro are. Anyway, I think this figure looks really good. I do like the classified design. I do think it's one of the better figures, other than, the hood really does. It bothers me because anytime I try I knock that hood off more than I knock everything off. So it is a rite of passage. And I heard that Tony told you probably backstage, right? Behind the scenes, he told you. That's the right way to put it. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's Zertin, not Zartan. I'm sorry. I mean, it really does sound like an allergy medicine. like I should be like waiting, in between some sort of YouTube video, and there's like couples walking, talking about their new Zertin that they're taking. Yes, Zartstro. Crayon. It's called Crayon. I can say Crayon. Allison cannot say Crayon. I think she says Crayon. Wait, Crayon. I don't know. When I'm on with Allison, Shit, I think it's actually this Sunday. I will get her to say crayon a whole bunch. Um, okay. um, they say crown. I don't. It's so weird. It's just no. I say crayon. Crayon. I don't say crayon. See, you say crayon. I say crayon. Exactly how it's spelled. Anyway, enough about how I talk properly and others in the community do not. Now that I've offended Allison, told you I wasn't done offending people. The worst thing is I haven't even offended anyone that I don't like yet. Whew, all right. So images of the vamp and clutch have shown up, and it looks pretty badass. From what we know, there have been rumors that it has hit the shores here in the U.S. Now, why they don't just process it and ship the shit to us, I don't know. Just come on. We get dumped with all these damn figures, and now, like, January, what? A couple of Walmart figures come out? And the next, I think, what, April is when the next figures are supposed to come out. And I think we'll get stuff before then. This thing isn't showing up for no reason. If it's not about to hit. So we've all seen the box art. Now we can see how the figure is. I love the fact that it's going back to that 80s design of where the figure is being shown right there. That was, well, I was about to say this was always so much better than like Star Wars, but Star Wars vehicles didn't come with figures. I was always disappointed when when you were looking at the vehicles and it was one that didn't have the figure that was being shown because it was in the thick box, like the Sky Striker. I believe the Whale was like that. The USS Flag was like that. I don't know if I ever told you guys I got the USS Flag for Christmas with 8 shipwrecks, but there's a story out there. I think I'm going to do a video and I'm just going to play it. Make it a lot easier on me. But here he is outside of the packaging. I absolutely hate this type of packaging. And I think most people agreed when they tried removing Mutt and Junkyard. I think everyone was like, fuck, give me back the plastic-free packaging. I think there was a better way to do it. I think you could have left a window with the figure in there with the wonderful easy ties that you could just pop off. I hate trying to get these figures out of this. I feel like I'm going to break the damn figures. Way worse. Matt says, I found 6 months at my Target a few days ago. Well, you know what? Again, it kind of goes back to the fact that people don't want to spend $45 on a toy. I mean, how many times do I have to mention, Motu vehicles that are $30 and no one will buy them, so they go on clearance to $15. If clutch is 6 inches, it's 16 by 10. Did you just break it down? You guys must be talking about how big it is. God damn it, why'd I say it? Damn, how big is that box? I guess so. You know what? So Viper Scott, I didn't once even look at it to think about how big that box is. And that's got to be bigger. Would you say that? Would you say that's bigger than the Trouble Bubble? I say it's got to be bigger than the Trouble Bubble, right? At least it looks like it is. But Wait, is Point Dread like super cheap? Hey, look. There's Travis Moody at Toy Cat Moon. I just can't believe there's a Chinese guy named Simon Riley. Well, that's Travis offending Chinese people, not me. Travis, I want you to look directly above your comment and see there's a moderator there. And that guy has been dropping links to Ryan Sweeney's, Dreadnought Ryan's YouTube channel as we try and push him over 1,000. Just remember, with a moderator, they can drop links for you. Oh, so I haven't seen it clearance yet, but I know there's a lot of them sitting there and nobody's buying. I also know that I did a Point Dread. Review, and I somehow deleted it, and it is completely gone. Anyway. Where are links to all these images? Well, I don't have links because all these images are on a PowerPoint. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I have the best slideshow in all of ToyTube right now. So don't give me this shit about links, all right? All right, so at least we know Liquid Identity was watching it. No. That is Chaz the Guru. He's the one who beats a dead horse over and over and over and over. And usually the memes are awesome. All right, anyway, back to this thing. It looks nice. I can't wait to see how it actually scales into things because it is kind of beefy, much beefier than what the original Vamp is. Now, the other thing that I had noticed is that you have the 2 foot of the two step bars on the side there. Now they don't have pegs on it, so I'm assuming that they're meant to put the feet into it. It looks like they made it slide even in a little bit, and then the figure would actually grab the handle. So rather than trying to fit 2 figures on the side, you're actually going to get one figure that's kind of going to probably would hang like in real life, but they can grab the oh shit handles, which I know would probably be used mostly in the Vamp. But yeah, I have a feeling that's how it's going to be. But yes, Liquid Identity, it looks nice and chunky, and I love the fact that they made it so you can take the lights off, you can take the oh shit handle off, you can take some stuff off. So if you really want to, you can make it look more like the classic Vamp. The only drawback with the Vamp is missing cup holders for my figure Starbucks Lucha Rainbow Unicorn Latte. So I will say this. The one thing that I don't really care for, that I don't like about this, and I fully understand they're trying to make it as classic as they can, is that the machine gun that's on it is that, it has the gas cans in the back. And I really wish they would have found a way to put a bar across it or a stand so you could actually house a figure on the back and they could actually fire, fire the 50 cals off of it rather than what they're, that it's going to, I guess, automatically be being moved. But yeah, but here's all the accessories that it comes with. So it does come with a good amount of accessories. And like I said, you can see all the stuff is already coming off. And the 50 cals are removable, if I am correct, because if you look at the handles, they're both in the same direction. So if you want to pull those things off, and people have already started saying, this is pointing towards getting a retro a retro roadblock, which they already gave us the retro roadblock in many, many ways. But I guess if you want to put one on a card, that one was an Amazon exclusive and does have, well, let's be honest, Roadblock doesn't come with a minigun. He comes with a full-size A10 Gatling gun. So, again, this thing does look really cool. I'm really happy with it, or at least I'm really happy with how it looks as of right now. But I'm interested to get it into the display, see how it's going to fit. But yeah. Oh yeah, B-Boy, yeah. And so back in, you said down there, it's $100, and it's a Pulse exclusive. So the only place that you can get it is through Hasbro Pulse. And again, when you start looking at the box, this, selling this on Hasbro Pulse exclusive tells me that, hey, we are worried about putting this in at Target and Walmart or GameStop and it taking up space and people not even, not buying it. And it's sitting there and going to clearance. I would assume that the people that are talking to them probably trying to talk the figureheads into it. Say, listen, these Motu things sit there for $33 and they won't sell until they go on, until they go on clearance. All right. So earlier today, we're going to remove this. This is the last slide that I have. So, forget how to do this. All right, buddy. Go see the boy. All right, he'll let you out. So earlier today, I saw this on the Full Force, and it looks like AliExpress has the SMS up for sale, which probably means it'll be going up for pre-order really soon. I believe people said February 1st is when pre-orders normally go up. It's G.I. Joe Day. I don't fully remember if that's correct or not. Let's say hi to Ted Darklaw really quick, and Todd C. also. Yeah, Vamp is DTOF friendly for sure. I also saw... I want to say hi to War Chest really quick. I've got enough Roadblock figures. Yeah, you know what? But what's actually kind of funny about it is, when you think about it, a lot of people don't have the Cobra Island one because nobody wanted it till Lenny went and explained everything, and then everyone's looking for it. Everyone hated the gun for the first Roadblock. Then people complained they couldn't get the Amazon one, which if you can get the Amazon one, that's on you because that thing was constantly available. But yeah, I could see them doing it. I really don't need them to be honest. Not to mention, I have the Mezco roadblock, so I don't really need another I don't need another roadblock. Anyway, so the rumor is that this had actually come in at the same time. This has come in at the same time as the Vamp, which makes sense. What doesn't make any sense is they haven't even put a pre-order up for this, which doesn't make, it's interesting that they haven't done that yet. So I'm assuming that this will probably be going up. Now the price point, I'm guessing that this price point is going to be $55, the same as a Trouble Bubble. It's not a full-size vehicle. Hell, it's not even a vehicle to begin with. It is a trailer, so you need something to, to hitch it to. For this, it's obviously going to be the Hiss. That's why I think the Stinger will be the next vehicle to come out. Although the Ferret should have a hitch on it, so it would be able to tow this. But you don't really want a little four-wheeler towing something like this. But my guess is that the Stinger should be coming next because not everyone got the Hiss tank. Only 27,000 people got it. Actually, 27,000 people didn't get it. Only like 28,000 of them were made. Yes, down south, that is the Techno Viper that is in the fire team colors. Hopefully they're the same Hopefully they're the same colors. Anyway, but yeah, so Chris McLeod dropped this. He said that, you know, if AliExpress has this, but there have been rumors that this hit the shores the same time the Vamp did. And the people that are reporting that usually are pretty good, because they reported that when the Hiss tank came in, the Mutton Junkyards were coming in with them. They all hit at the same time, and guess what? Mutton Junkyard went out right around the same time the Hiss tank started shipping. So it's pretty conceivable that that's what's going to happen. I am surprised that they threw the Techno Viper in here before we get the actual Techno Viper. I think it does work, but yeah, I would. I really want that purple Techno Viper. I'm really, yeah. I'm not even a big Techno Viper fan. I wasn't, but I just like that color purple. So let's remove this really quick. All right. So there's one other thing that I did want to. Now I saw another picture, and this was something that I'm definitely disappointed that I didn't order one of these. And that is this Marauder Gray Wolf Skeletron. You can still go back it. I haven't yet. I think I might later. And maybe it's just this picture that he kind of has that Cylon look from Battlestar Galactica, but I really like the way this looks. And maybe it's just the shot that they have. But Skeletron is starting to ship things, and you know, I've talked about this numerous times. Now, I only backed a couple things, which was the whole Robo Skull, which comes with a figure, and the the camouflaged wolf figure, whatever it is, the camouflage figure. Because again, I really didn't want to go all in, but I'm seeing these figures, and man, they look so good. So you can still go to Skeletron, jump on the pre-orders, still get some stuff, or the backer kit. May take a little bit longer because they are shipping to the people that backed it to begin with, as the stuff comes in. But once it comes up, it goes up there. So give me 1 second. So yeah, so if you're into the Skeletron stuff, if you fully back the Skeletron, you can start getting stuff. There's stuff starting to show. It looks really nice, and like KJ just said, Skeletron is killing it right now. Again, I didn't do the all-in. That was like $1,000. I think the Robo Skull, I think I spent like $275, and I still got to get some more stuff. Like I got to get the stand for it. Why I didn't just order the stand at the time makes no sense, but you know, you're trying to save money, and then you're like, why didn't I just spend the extra $35 on the stupid fucking stand? Because I'm gonna have to get it eventually anyway. Now, the other thing that I want to mention, I don't want to say this is all because of me, but I do think that some of what I said has made him do this. A few weeks ago when I was on with Mega J and we started talking towards the end of the show, we were talking about Ramen Toys and Ace and how I've been on a lot of these companies, and I'm not on them, but I mention it. Again, I'm not scared. I'm not scared or worried that I might not get someone on a fucking show. All right? So I'm going to call a spade and say how I actually feel, right? And I had said, hey, listen, you know, I've been on, I said before, the Skeletron thing I like about them is they're slowly shipping stuff. But Cosine Longbow, it's like I'm still waiting on something. Operation Recall, Savage Crucible, it's like a lot of the stuff was supposed to come out a lot earlier, and it's just like, boom, here I'm fucking waiting. And even though I haven't ordered anything for Ramen Toys, I had brought up, Hey, at some point you got to start really giving us some product. And I met Ace. I've been on streams with Ace. He seems like a really nice guy. But you have to still hold people accountable and say, you know what? Stop showing me new shit. Put product in hands so people aren't backing stuff and maybe they're getting a shitty product or maybe they're not getting a product at all, because even though I don't think most of these companies are going to do it, it's happened in the past. And Ace happened to be listening and he jumped on in the comments. I don't think he was really thrilled with me. But again, I'm not looking to, I'm not looking to make enemies, but I'm not looking to like buddy with people and get them on my show so I can say, hey, look at my show. I'm going to have so-and-so on. And, I'm never going to, be honest and critical of, their product. And, he said, I'm in the factory now and this and that. Well, if you notice recently, and again, I don't think it's all because of me, but I think me being on Mega J and kind of calling him out, you notice he's starting to show the products more and feature, hey, these things are going to be coming out and they're getting ready to ship and this is in the factory. He's showing the packaging and everything, which is great. All right. And I hope that everyone that backed anything, and never once have I ever said that, never once have I said that he wasn't going to deliver. But you can't constantly be showing new product while people are waiting. It's hard on people's wallets because you're holding on to their money. Like they've already paid you. So, but if you noticed, if you follow Rambing Toys on Instagram or on Facebook, that he's starting to show more and more stuff. And hopefully before the Chinese New Year, because that's what the rumor is, that he wants to get the stuff on the water, that charger and stuff will hit hands, and then I can shut up about it. Like listen, all you got to do is prove me wrong for anything that I say. Once you start seeing product, like what can I say? It's kind of like Detroit Lions, same old fucking Lions, right? Now I think they're a good team, same old Lions. We watched it yesterday, right? Like one of the best halves, and then they just shit the bed. Same old Lions. Sorry, people don't like to hear that, but just prove me wrong and I'll shut up. I mean, anyway, Viper Scout says Ace is kind of getting annoyed when people report an issue. His latest with the red going wheel kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't know this. I didn't know. I have no idea what you're talking about, but now I'm very interested. So shoot me a message and tell me. Listen, a company has to be. They have to be willing to take responsibility and take the criticism of stuff like that. It's part of, it's just part of the industry. There's someone else that really does not like when someone posts when there's something wrong with their product. Sorry. It's bringing attention to it. It's not saying that they're all bad. And if you're correcting it, then who gives a shit, right? You're taking care of it. But there are some people that don't want to see it. So, KJ says here, we need the bread van. All I need is a shell on wheels for some A-Team customs to stand in front of. Yeah. My guy Greg that does 3D printing, he has 3 heads sent out to Tony's Figs, who's painting them for him. And I know he has the bread van, and he's definitely going to be excited when he gets those heads in, and then that bread van fully comes. But yeah, again, Viper Scott, I'm not sure what you're talking about. I haven't really seen. Again, I haven't seen too much other than he's starting to show stuff. And again, maybe there's a bunch of product out there that I don't know about that everyone has in hand. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. I know a lot of people have got the Marshall figures, and that's great, but if you notice, if you backed any of the ramen stuff, you're waiting on the stuff, it looks like right now he is ramping up. He's starting to show the stuff, and hey, listen, once stuff starts flowing, I understand he's a new company. And once stuff starts flowing in on a consistent basis, then I won't have to say this anymore. But it's not just, Ramen Toys that I have mentioned. It's, been a lot of these Kickstarters and Kickstarters that I've backed. And it's just, eventually you got to start, giving us stuff. The Robo Skull, like I said, I believe I backed it before the Sky Striker. And again, we were supposed to get it, I think, before Christmas. And I understand production. I understand. There's setbacks. There's a lot of different things. And there have been other people that have discussed, like, hey, when you do a Kickstarter and it does very well, the timeline is accounted for the minimum to hit that. When you keep adding all these extras onto it, it prolongs the Kickstarter, because now they have to produce all this other stuff that they knew was that they might possibly need to do, but it's not accounted for in that timeline to hit. So that's all I wanted to say. Take a drink really quick. Ted, Hella Dope Toys, I know you're listening. I really need another commercial. I need another Moss Man doing something. I think the punks are getting restless when they see the other one. Although I love the 5 subscribers, still my favorite part of that. 5 subscribers. Anyway, War Chest says his 6-inch Master of the Universe prototypes look badass, and I've always wanted a line that size, 1/12 scale, Motu Battle Cats, and Wind Raider. Must be crazy cool. Listen, I saw the heads. Hey, I know you're busy because you work a real job and you're sending out figures, but just when you get a second. Just when you get a second. And also, listen, if you guys don't know, if you haven't checked out Hella Dope Toys, go check out Hella Dope Toys. They ship worldwide. And if you use my code APWT, I still don't know the initials, you get 10% off your order. Go over there. You don't need to say I sent you, because once they see the code, they'll know, hey, these assholes came over. Oh, boy. Give me a second here, my buddy's customs, because I guess he sent me something. I think I'm going to regret this. I don't think you guys are, but I have a feeling I might end up regretting this, right? Where is it at? I don't see it in the IG. Why would be my request? Nope. Huh. Did you send it to the wrong IG? It has to go to a punk with _toys. Remember that asshole from an island nuked my fucking page? So you gotta send that thing to the other one. I think you probably sent it to my old one. Anyway, I'll wait for that to come through. But anyway, let's get into. Yeah. Don't worry, it sucks because that's where I got a lot of shit. Asshole. Anyway, not you. Guy that lives on a fucking island with a bunch of fucking vipers. Anyway. When it comes to toys in the community, I don't know why it seems like people don't want to have fun. It seems like it should be, it should be fun. Hold on. Oh my. Hi guys, hold on. So, oh shit. So that is a bud. No short kings allowed. Did you must have looked up Sergeant Red's, didn't you? You must have looked up Sergeant Red's picture to know that's what the his picture looks like. Um, for the record, and Ed can confirm this along with Ted. I am taller than 4 feet. I'm even taller than 5 feet. I'm waiting for Ed to come back and go, yeah, well, I mean, I'm not positive. So here's what's funny about this. So this is what's funny about the picture that you used. I was in there with my daughter, and just full on out there. John and my daughter, they go at it. They're throwing jabs at each other, and she fucking called him out about this picture, and she's like, "Your waist doesn't look like that." And I'm like, "God damn! Like you are ruthless." So anyway, there's am I wearing a fucking cape? God damn it! Have you not seen The Incredibles? No capes, but. You do some good work. And I'm crying too. So now I got to go find my cry closet. God damn it. Ed says, I have a pic of you and I have for proof of how tall you aren't. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you guys are something else. Is it 3 inches? Yeah, you actually did put. That doesn't matter. David Bruce comes out of nowhere, just shooting straight fucking bullets. Anyway, there you guys go. Proof that I can take a fucking joke, unlike a lot of other people. Again, my buddy Customs, thank you very much. Or should I realize I put inches, not feet? It's in pencil. You can erase it, right? That is awesome, though. Anyway, there you guys go. You guys all got a good laugh at how short I am. Proof, Ed says there's proof that I'm not that tall. Kiwi, dude, let me just say this. As much as I laugh at other people, as much as I throw jabs at other people, I better be able to take a joke, you know? Yeah, you know, I'm glad you can take... Dude, like, seriously. First off, when people would apologize to me when they, like, say a short joke to me, I'd be like, what are you apologizing for? I'm short. Like, I can't control it. Like, I don't know why. If someone is heavy set and, hey, you don't know what they struggle with, like, you know, maybe they struggle, they're heavy set, they can't lose the weight, they've tried, whatever, who knows? Maybe they just don't give a shit, you know? I don't know. I can understand why people why someone could get upset about that. When it comes to stuff like height, I can't control how tall I am. It's never bothered me. It bothers a lot of other people. But the amount of jabs that I take at other people, hell, I just went through a list of offending guys that people I actually consider friends. Other people like the Toy Sorceress talking about how she says figure. I like Toy Habits. I enjoy watching their content. I better be able to take a joke. So, you know, as long as, you know, it's not, you know, you're not taking personal shots at me or my family, then we're all good. Anyway, thank you very much, bud. You're awesome. You're awesome. Now we need Now I need someone to print me up, laser print me that to go with this. Although I will say this, as much as I laughed at this, it looks more like Ted than me. From Hella Dope Toys, I think it kind of looks more like Ted than me, but I wouldn't let Ted ride Roman. Oh, anyway. Raymond Chong, listen, if I'm hanging around shorter people are going to start thinking I'm like Michael Jackson, all right? I'll just throw it out there, all right? I mean, I said the story like a couple weeks ago, I think, that one of my best friends growing up, when we went to the skate park, we all had to wear helmets at the time, and he said, I knew you were short, but when I was looking for you and you just blended with the sea of kids, that's when I realized how short you were. Oh yeah, Ted's taller than me. Yeah, for sure. Ted is definitely taller than me. There's no doubt about that. But again, I think this one actually shows better. Like, I think that kind of looks more like Ted than me. But we all know who it is. Like I said, I wouldn't let Ted ride Roman. He might break him. And I don't know if Ted needs a cry closet. Ted doesn't seem like he wants to cry too often. Like I do look like I want to cry. All right, so once again, people, if you're looking to do a show on your own for 3 hours, that is how you successfully waste 2.5 hours of people's time. When you have to get arms length if you do your shins, otherwise you look like T-Rex. Yeah. All right, guys. So let's get to the topic. And that's fun. And I mentioned it earlier when I kind of quickly discussed it. This might be one of those topics to go super quickly. I might go super quickly because it seemed like there's more to talk about it in my head. Quickly, Ted says, I'm fridge feet tall. I'm the length of an average fridge, which is average is 6 foot, thus making me an average of 6 foot. I don't know what that means because you ain't no 6 feet tall. I'll tell you that much. Anyway, so if you listen to Payne's Toy Samples on Friday, his opening when he talks, no, Ted, we're not at the topic yet. Well, we would have been, but Bud had sent a. Did you see the new picture of that he did? Oops, that's not the right thing. I don't know, full screen right now. Yeah, that's Bud's new picture of me trying to get into Sergeant Red's when he won't let me in. I'm gonna have to send it over to Sarge. Anyway, so Aaron really talks about it, and that's fun, and that's really what these toys. Why the hell is that red? Anyway, and I will post it on Instagram for sure. But yeah, you can post it in the network. That network that is secret and no one knows about. Anyway, I think Aaron talks about it and it being fun. And like I said, there's a lot that's going on with the toy community that I feel like a lot of people don't want to have fun. There's a lot of toy tubers that feel like they need to start drama. That if you say their name, they flip out and they want to call you out on it. there's others that just ignore it. They don't care. I feel like you should be able to discuss other toy tubers, as long as you're not, bad mouthing them. You can talk about them, but there's obviously, a community that's been built where drama is something that it pulls people in to begin with, and after time, it's a short run. But it's like, how much fun are some of these people having? Are they looking for a fight? And conversely, I talk about the G.I. Joe community, and there's a lot of frauds in there, which is crazy. That there's frauds that they want to sell you something. I don't do trades, and I don't sell stuff. I don't buy stuff on Facebook pages. And what you'll get is, all of a sudden, like, you'll see someone there, and then someone comes up and they're like, "Don't buy from this guy. He's a fake account." They'll pull other people's images, and someone will catch that image. Kind of like I caught someone's image on their YouTube video and lied about what I had said. But yeah, they do stuff like that. And it's like, what the hell are you here for? We know about the toy swappers. It's one of those things where you're just like, all right, what the hell? Like, if you can't afford a figure, there's no shame in that. It's okay. But why the fuck are you swapping a figure? What are you getting out of it? You are screwing someone else over. And let's be honest, very seldom do you probably screw over somebody that was going to screw someone else over. And it's one of those things where I keep seeing stuff and it's like, is there even fun left in? There is fun left, because there's fun left for me. But there's some of these people even have fun. And again, you have the guys, especially I see in the G.I. Joe community, that are they looking to just buy these for an investment? I'm going to tell you guys right now, if anyone is listening on the replay or live right now, do not buy figures for investment. These are not 80s toys. They're mass produced. They are being made for adults. And very few of them are going to be worth money later. You're going to end up losing more than anything. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. You guys are just Random says we need to get one of those little flags on the thin pole. We can attach you Lawrence with the pink logo so you can see him at cons. I'm like talking to myself, and you fuckers are going off on how short I am, and it actually makes me laugh. So KJ says I'm selling a lot less right now. It is what it. Okay, I'm not saying you shouldn't sell figures. I'm not saying there's a problem with people that sell figures. I'm saying that there are people that are ripping others off. You see them in the Facebook communities, right? I mean, you see when all of a sudden there's an alert that someone is that you see someone that they're post like, hey, don't buy from this guy. He's a fraud. It's a fake account. Someone's posting like, hey, you know what? Those aren't his pictures. These are my pictures, or these are a picture from over here. Like, that's what I'm talking about. I don't have a problem with people, hey, they buy stuff and they sell it later. Cage, I know for a fact that you're buying the toys because you want them. Now, I feel like you're a little different than me because I have a hard time getting rid of stuff because everything that I bought, I've wanted, and I don't really like to get rid of my stuff. There are a lot of people that, there's a guy that I'm friends with here, and he's all about the hunt. He has no problem 6 months later, 3 months later at times selling stuff. He's like, I love the hunt. I love searching for stuff. So everyone's a little different, but it's when people are being frauds about it, when people are doing the toy swapping, when people are buying and they're army building in boxes. Why are you doing that again? Oh, wait a minute. You have no intention of actually opening stuff or collecting it. And again, you don't have to open it. I don't understand inbox collectors, but you can be an inbox collector and still have fun. I don't know how. I don't know how. The whole point is having them out and playing with them, but that's me. But it's these people that have 15 Destros or 15 Stalkers, and you're like, really, dude? Because guess what? That ain't worth shit. As a matter of fact, that's worth less than what you bought. And that's just like inside of those communities. I've been one that, I've been very vocal about people that need to learn to use Google. Stop going into communities and asking a dumb fucking question. Do a little bit of research. That's on me. I can't say that's not having fun. It's just something that drives me nuts. Really shouldn't have even brought up, but I did. And Wart just says, I buy 2 of everything, 5 of troop builders. I did just sell 1 whole set from 0 to the fire team to 1 person so they came and picked it up. And again, I'm not saying that people can't make some money off it, and I'm not saying there are people that are specifically when you see them in the community and they're showing you what they bought, and you're like, why did you buy 13 Zaranas? There's no reason to. She's not worth money. She's not an army builder. I can't believe that anyone would like a figure like that much that you'd buy the same one in a box that many times. And that's part of the non-fun in a lot of the community. The other thing is the YouTube. And when I started this, I have Matthew can, he can confirm this because I talked to him. I didn't want to start drama. I didn't want to attack people. That is a cheap pop. That is a pop that you're going to get, and then once it goes away, the crowd goes away because now, they know that's all you're there for. And yes, I have called people out in the past, but it is definitely an issue where you see people that they're causing drama. They have cliques, and there's always cliques, and I get that. All right, no matter where you're at, whether you're in high school, middle school, college, whatever, there are cliques, but there are cliques that have divided much of this community. You guys know who they are. Well, you know who one is, and there's others. There are others. There are other YouTubers that, this sounds wrong, I'm going to say, they sit on an island by themselves, but I'm actually not talking about Viper Island. There are other people that sit by themselves that fucking I don't know what the hell they're doing. I don't know. They are just there to be a nuisance, cause a problem. And I don't get it. But it's I don't know where your fun is. Where the fuck is the fun? Why are you not having fun? And again, someone might right now be watching this and going, well, dude, you're wasting your time. And you're absolutely correct. I'm kind of wasting my time pointing it out. And again, I'm one of the most, I don't want to say one of the more boisterous people that I give my opinion. Now, the amount of things that I don't say that I think would probably shock you. Because as I used to have to say, especially when it came to, let's say, my ex, listen, you say something, words can't be bottled back up. They're out there. But I feel like there's some people out there that are burning bridges left and right. and I don't know what purpose. People have been. There are people that have been blacklisted. I truly do believe that. Certain shows that won't have certain people on, not because they may not want to have a person on, but I think because they've been told by their group leaders, hey, you know what? He's not on our sheet of people you can have on your show. I do believe that some of these places, some of these tubers that are in these groups have like a fucking list. Like, all right, well, don't have him on because he may have said something that I don't like about me or bad about something that I like or whatever. And it takes so much fun out of it. For me, you see the pictures that I'm doing. I'm not a great photographer, but I have fun doing it. I have fun setting up my figures and posing it. And that's what you should be doing. And listen, there are a lot of things that bug me. One of the biggest problems that I have is that I say what's on my mind. Sometimes I shouldn't, and a lot of times I don't. But again, like, I don't understand. Like, I see how some of these people pose figures, and I want to scroll past their Instagram or Facebook as quickly as possible. It's like, God damn it, you don't know how to fucking pose a figure. How is that even possible? How do you not know how to take a 6-inch figure, make him so he's actually pointing his rifle? They give you all this articulation, and you pose them as good as you could pose an O-ring, and that's being kind. But yeah. And like JLS Comics here says, that sounds pretty childish. I don't like the tribalism. Yes, but it's there, and you know it. We all see it. I mean, if you're in the community, we all see it, okay? And don't get me wrong. We all get in our cliques. There's no doubt about it. I was actually just talking to someone about this. I was talking to someone yesterday and today, and we were talking about our channels, and she was saying how, like, I didn't want to, like, I didn't want help from anyone per se. Like, I didn't want to use anyone that I've gotten to know to grow my channel. And it's kind of what I explained to her. I said, I didn't want to be part of a group. I wanted to either sink or swim on my own. And what I meant by that is because I know how I am. I don't want to say divide people. There's a lot of people that don't want me on their channel. A lot of people that like me that don't have me on their channel, I think, from time to time, because they worry what I'm going to say. The things I watch when I'm on other people's channels, but like, I go on Mega J's, and I said something that I think, in my personal opinion, upset Rambing Toys. And I didn't say anything bad. I was saying my honest opinion. And I think people worry about that, And I had a point that I was getting to. Oh yeah, but I was telling her, like, I don't want someone. I didn't want to be connected to anyone when the whole channel started, because I wanted to make it on my own or let it fail on its own, whatever. But I wasn't going to bring someone else down, because last thing I want to be is connected to someone that someone thinks I'm part of their group, and then all of a sudden, well, you know what? You're part of that guy, and he's really caused a problem. And a lot of times people think I cause a problem because I speak the truth. And not the truth. I speak my truth and my opinion. And again, as of now, I mean, you can see who I'm associated with. You can see when I'm on Oz's all the time. You can see how I poached people from a toy kind of mood. So, I'm kind of associated with them. But, I poached most of their guys. The 3 of them are in here right now. Sorry, Travis. If you don't know, Travis is in that new that new movie, and he's on a Netflix cover of something in a truck, looking like a Guido. And here I have KJ laughing. But anyway, you see, I told you, sometimes you come up with these ideas for these topics and you're like, but anyway, yeah, so I just wonder like how many people are, you know, how much fun do they want to have? I'm not going to say who I poached or anything. But you guys could figure it out, right? By the way, go give Dreadnought Ryan a follow if you haven't yet. He's trying to get to 1,000 subs. But yeah. But I know when I started, I saw how the community was, not to the extent that I do now, because you really get to know people. But I do think that there's so many people that, that's the way they stay on top. There's a lot of bullies. I think that's the best way to put them. There's a lot of people that have attached to the bully because they feel like, wow, you know what? The bully has finally liked me. And hey, if I stay attached to them, I have someone that's going to protect me. And they do the same thing. And again, we see it kind of the echo chamber where it continues to happen and happen and happen. And again, I'm sure it's like this in every field. I've been in skateboarding. Listen, I'm part of the modern guys over here, right? The modern guys, right? I think most people think I ride for the team. I believe I'm not good enough to ride for the damn team, but I'm always with them. And there's other different crews, and it's not like there's big gang fights or anything. Because I don't know if you've ever seen skateboarders. I don't think most of them could fight. But yeah, so Muda says, Punk, I came to your channel because you were down to earth and do a normal consumer's view of figures. I like that it doesn't have a crazy photography and poses on a swivel. You know what? Thank you very much. That's exactly why, and I'm not saying being honest about things was how I started, but I also didn't know how to review things at the beginning when I was doing figures and different things like that. That's what I wanted. And again, there are wonderful, wonderful reviewers that take their time. They produce them. They look good. You see these figures that are posed amazingly. In the end, when I'm done, if you look in the back, I like to pose my figures nicely. I like to have them, but I also want you to see when I do my reviews to be, hey, this is how it's going to be once you open it up. Are you going to take the time? Are you going to pose it? Or how easy is it to do? But thank you very much. That's exactly what I look for when it comes to posing figures and different things like that. War Chest says, I came to Punk's channel because he's shorter than me, and that's it. The rest was just a bonus. But yeah. So again, I just wonder if I feel like most of the people, I think all the people that are in my chat, they're still here for fun. I think we've kind of gotten rid of the people that would start drama. I'm not saying none of them ever come around, but there are a lot of people that still, that they still want to start drama. The people that I've associated with, we discuss it. I'm not going to lie. We know who's starting drama. We know who is a leech. We know who's a hanger-oner. We know who all the people are. Like, we see it. Smart people can read through that type of stuff. So if you ever wonder, like, hey, I wonder if Punk knows, like, but I fucking know. I feel like Jim Rome, like, I fucking know. Like, Sometimes I miss some things. Like I missed some stuff over the past, I think, 24 or 48 hours in a completely different group. um, but and I still don't even know what the hell that shit was all about yet. But there is other drama. A lot of times there's backstage drama. Sometimes there's upfront drama. But again, it's like this is fucking fun, man. Like we are kids that most of us have the funds to buy what we want to an extent. We didn't always have that ability. And again, I'm maybe the wrong one to speak because I had pretty much every GI Joe that I wanted as a kid. So yeah, I was spoiled. But we're at a point where we want something, we can pretty much get it. I wanted, this thing right here, and I wanted this beautiful, beautiful headless horseman. I spent $140 to get it because my bills were paid, my mortgage was paid, my kids were fed, that they were clothed. I can do that. So I know that I still want to have fun. I hope that everyone that's sitting in this chat here they still want to have fun. Hey, no, I didn't. Travesty, you be Travesty 2 because you're younger. Travesty 2, no, I didn't say anything about flag talk. I said I had almost all the G.I. Joes that I wanted. If you remember correctly, I didn't want 8 shipwrecks. I just got them. Anyway, I guess that's kind of my rant about fun. I think we should all be having fun. At times, we all have to. Sometimes it's nice to watch the drama happen, but just stay out of it. Yes, it was 9 shipwrecks. You are correct, but I got 8 of them. Listen, you're not gonna. Hey, none of you fuckers are gonna get me. None of you fuckers are going to get me in a mix of my words for that story. Because not a story, is what happened. But yes, it was eventually 9 shipwrecks. I got 8 of them. I already had one. Anyway, so that's it. I think I went off on a tangent about other things. Basically, the other thing that I started to discuss was about the other person I was speaking to, about building a channel on my own, building my own brand. And again, like I have become attached to other people, and there are a lot of people that have. There's a lot of people that have. I don't want to say used me because that is the wrong. That is the wrong term. They have God, how do I say it without making it sound awful? See, this is what happens. Sometimes I don't need to speak, and I do, but I do anyway. There's a lot of people that have seen what I've done, and they've kind of used me to help to grow their brand by becoming a community. I guess that's the best way. Kind of joining in the community and using what I've built to kind of launch theirs, and that's fine. And that's fine. I much rather it like that than me use someone else and then I take them down because someone doesn't like me. Again, like I said, sometimes I need to not say anything. But I think there's a lot of people that that have used the group, the community that I've also helped grow, and they've also helped grow. Because I've mentioned before. Listen, this channel, this chat, this live stream, it is nothing without each and every single one of you because, fuck, I mean, do you read what you guys say? Like, you guys make this, fucking, hilarious. Now, I get another picture drawn today of me being too short to get into Sergeant Reds. It's awesome. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, I think anyone wants an extension of me. I need the extension so I can be a little bit taller. But I'll tell you what, I would hate for people that are associated with me to get the blacklist on for some other people. And believe me, I know for a fact that, I know for a fact that there have been people that have said, you better not have him on. We'll just leave it at that. And I think that's absolutely crazy. Because you know what? I'll say it, like Aaron and Ted, for their show. Sometimes they'll have someone on that I don't really care for. I just don't go in there and get involved because it's not my place to go in there and cause a problem. I've seen other chats, whether it be Mega J or Toy Connections or anyone like that. Like, hey, they might have someone on that I don't really care to hear, and I just don't go watch their channel that day because I'm not going to start interacting because I'm not childish. And so for someone to tell a channel or anyone, hey, you know what? You better not have that person on there. How about you just don't watch a fucking show when someone's on there? Do you think I'm sure people did, but could you imagine people like hitting up Jay Leno and being like, you better not have this guy on there? And Mr. Wonderful sends $1.99 super chat. Fun for Step Stool so he can reach the topic. You mean the topic step stool? Oh my gosh. See? There's people that can't handle that type of stuff. I've heard stories about people that someone would do a caricature like what was just done of me. Actually done a couple of times. Hell, look at this. Look at this. This was done when we were on Oz's, and somehow the Cry Closet came in, and me riding Roman, and Bud, my buddy's customs, right? He fucking drew this, right? And then I don't remember if he sent it to me or how he sent it, and I thought it was hilarious. And then Random said, hey, would you mind if I use that and laser printed it onto a coaster? Which, you're right, these are kind of flimsy and kind of warp. But I also Random, I can't use them as coasters. They're too cool. Like it means a lot to me that you did that for me. Like that you just sent them to me. Like out of nowhere. Like, hey, I need your address. I need to send this to you. Like that means a lot to me. And that thing back there, I do keep meaning to do some pictures with it. I am going to be doing some pictures with it and giving you credit and hopefully send some people to your Etsy store. But there are some people that they can't handle that. And again, you heard the people in here that like, I'm glad you can take a joke. Man, you hear how much I dish shit out. I better be able to. And I keep, 57 of you are still here. There was over 70 people here earlier listening, even before we got to the G.I. Joe topic, which usually I only get a really, really big stream when it's really heavy in, G.I. Joe or military style stuff. Although, like I said, I think the McFarlane stuff is now starting to catch on because I think everyone just kind of wants to hear the ramblings, the jokes. And I'm not the only one telling the jokes. I'm reading a lot of the jokes. It's just coming through my voice. And I think some of you guys got to laugh at how bad I read some of these comments. So, Pop Blender says, sometimes people find out that a person they don't like is actually someone cool when they talk to each other. I've watched it happen on a few streams. People that were opposite each other became friends. So I'll say this. I did not know Mega J. I did not like watching Mega J. I was like, no one can be this fucking happy all the time. It is not possible to be happy all the time. And then I got put on a stream with him. And we talked afterwards. As a matter of fact, I got put on a stream with him to talk about the Cat Slayer. And I was the only one that had the opposing opinion that it was not going to fund. I still think here's Random Dioramas, Amazon store. Check it out. I do believe that I was only put on because they needed someone who would have an opposing. I never really talked to him before. We communicated a little bit, and we talked afterwards. And I'm like, wow, like this guy is not as happy. Like he has some gruff to him. Like, and then I met him at PowerCon. He sought me out because he knew I was going to be there, and we had good conversation. We all went out to dinner afterwards, and he'll hit me up and say, "Hey, you want to come up on the show?" Like. He doesn't ask me all the time, and that's great. I don't need to be on a show all the fucking time. Like, I don't need to be hopping from show to show to show. Matter of fact, I think when I do the two shows I normally do and do Ozzy's show, I'm on too much. Sometimes I don't have anything to do. I think the more you're on a show, I think the more you're on YouTube, the less your voice carries. You know, people don't want to seek you out for your show. They've already heard your opinion 3 or 4 times that week. So it's just interesting. I don't even know where that came from. I really, really don't. Anyway, we made it 3 hours. Kiwi says, I'm angry all the time. That's how people from Canada are, bro. They just sit around making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. It's like Mary Poppins up there. Well, I don't know if they just make peanut butter and jelly. They do have their gravy on fries, right? And Ed, again, dropping links. Travis, moderator, we can drop links for you. Here is a link to Random Dioramas Etsy store. This is one of the things that I got. All handmade. And if you watch the stream, you'll see them do it. But this thing is awesome. I just have not done any pictures with it yet. Again, I showed this on a stream earlier. He has his little marker on the back, so you know that it's his. It's just really cool. And this thing is super, super fucking light. So check out his Etsy store. And honest to God, do not complain about the price because these are all handmade. All right, these things are all handmade. So they're all one of a kind, no matter how you look at it. But I do got to do some pictures. I've been meaning to. I was going to do lights in this, but someone was nice enough to say, hey, I have these lights that plug in where you're interested in them. I want to shoot them to you. I said, sure, send them to me. So once I get those, I think I'm going to do the video for that, get a light in there. So, here, Tony, Ed's got like a wrench in it seems like he's got a wrench in a whole bunch of fucking streams. I bring it up and I fear someone being like, hey, do you want me to make you a mod? Nope. I have enough to do with my own shows and my own YouTube. I don't want to mod anyone else's. I was part of this Facebook group. I'm actually still part of this Facebook group. It's been one of those ones that's gone on for probably 13, 14, maybe 15 years. And I finally said, dude, why are there so many fucking admins here? And there were people asking to be admin, and they kept And I'm like, dude, why? Like, why do you want to be a fucking admin? Like, why? And people are like, are you just mad because you're not an admin? I'm like, fuck that, dude. I fucking have my own fucking like sports message board, and I have these other ones that why do you want to be an admin? I mean, first off, I mean, to be a mod would be one thing, but who cares? Like, there's like 20 admins in this group where there's like 200 people. You know, what are you so worried about? But yeah. Whew. Anyway, over 3 hours. I gotta work in the morning. You all gotta work in the morning. Russell says, Lawrence, you're a genuine guy. Let me change the flat tire for a stranger on a busy highway. Yeah, I've said this, and I mean, I'm one of those people that when you ask for something, I'm the one that goes, oh yeah, do you need help moving? Yeah. You know, or you need help with it. Yeah, like I don't know why. It just maybe it's just to go out and be with people. I don't know. I'm not a people pleaser at all, but you know, when someone is a friend of mine, if they need something, you know, I'm gonna be there for them because obviously they need something. And you know, if they had, you know, 100 fucking friends, maybe they'd have someone else helping them. I can tell you, I haven't moved a lot, but when you're moving stuff, it's always been asking one friend of mine, my dad, and you know, my father-in-law. Like they were always the ones that I was fucking, you know, the relying on. And you come to the point, it's like you can't continue to ask your dad and you know, who's my ex-father-in-law now, you know, to help you with stuff because they're getting older. But for me, yeah, like I'd rather not change a flat. Although that's kind of funny that you mentioned that because I did have to go out one day and help my my father-in-law with my ex-father-in-law. Well, I've never been married, but my ex's dad helped him change the flat. And the girl that I was dating at the time, I'm like, is that because I had to drive her home? I was like, I'm like, we have to go and swing by so I can change Susan's dad's flat tire. So she's like sitting in the car, and he was just like, who's that? I'm like, the girl I've been dating. And then his sister, he had called her because she was on his way over there. She walks by and looks and goes, oh, hi. She's like, just so you know, we're all one big happy family here. It was like one of the most awkward things. Let me tell you something. My kids have never met this girl. It shouldn't be. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here before I offend and insult anyone else. Quickly, let's say Shark Guys, who's been a member for 6 months. Buy toys, have fun, don't be a jerk. Simple. You are absolutely 100% correct. It should just be fun, man. I mean, I've met so many wonderful people. I know I'm going to get out of here, but honestly, I've met so many. I mean, I've actually met people in real life. So many wonderful people. I can't wait to go to Joe Fest and meet some of these other guys. You know, the fact that, you know, the fact that I'm going to Joe Fest and I'm going to be sharing a hotel room with two people that I have never met in person. Again, I talk to Tony probably 5 times a week on the phone. So it's not like I don't know him, you know, but, you know, you meet all these people through here. You make friends. Some become better friends than others, but it is a wonderful community for the most part. And I'm sure even some of those ones that are, you know, that cause drama, I'm sure they do make some good friends. I think some of them may alienate other people too. So, but hey, not my fucking problem. All right, let's get out of here. So this Thursday, I will have Largo on for Thursday with a friend. Largo's Lair. We will be discussing him, his life. It is not a toy chat. It is a Largo chat and getting to know him. I've discussed what Thursday with a friend is. I will quickly go over it for the 45 people watching. If you don't know, it is getting to know someone in the community. So as time goes on, I do it every other week. You'll see bigger names, Gridiron. I'm having Gridiron, JLS, but I also want to have smaller people that have helped me in this community, that have supported me, whether it be through Facebook, Instagram, obviously YouTube, or wherever. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys all for showing up. I always love Mondays, even if I'm not in the mood to do it. A few comments in, and it's like we're off and running. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful night, and I will see you all Thursday, 9 p.m.